Yo, come on in, cool. Let's get it. Come on in. Come on in. Wipe your feet off. Ring the bell. Don't y'all bring that bullshit on up in here, man. Another day, another day. Let's get it. Let's get it. Man, I see y'all, man. I see y'all up in here. Let's get it, man. What's going on with you? Relax and talk sports. King JP. What's going on, man? I see y'all up in here, man. Y'all come on in, man. Let's get it. Let's get it. Wipe your feet off. Ring the bell. Don't bring it all up in here. Mossy man, let's get it. Let's get it, y'all, man. We got some things to talk about, man. Got some things to talk about, guys. My people, Panther Nation. What it do? Let's get it. Hey, man, some of the first stuff, man, we want to discuss around here today is the Super Bowl is over. So the NFL season is over. Now it's time to get into what we would call the nitty gritty of what the Panthers need or what the Panthers need to do. The Panthers' biggest thing was coming up right now to address, far as Dan Morgan, to see who we're gonna tag, who we're gonna extend, and stuff like that. The date, the calendar date for all that stuff is going on is February the 20th, when you can start tagging people and messing with contracts and all kinds of stuff like that. And the what's the date? The day's date is the date is the 13th. So in about 6 days, 6 to 7 days, um, you're gonna be able to have to see what you're gonna do with these guys, man. Cause we got a couple free agents that'll be leaving out the building. And then you think again at 4 o'clock on March the 13th. That start free agency. So between February the 20th and March the 13th, it's a lot of more days in there that you'll be able to. You got to mess with contracts and do all that stuff and negotiate stuff. And if you want to extend people, and if I get, I'm not 100%, but the people who you're going to pick up the 5th year option. Now, it's a lot of contractual things that's going to be, the date's going to be coming down between the 20th of February and March 13th when the official free agency starts. That like 4 o'clock, it's like boom, everybody go get it. Mossy man, I got a new member, man. Mossy man, 789 News, man. Hey, bro, we appreciate you. Like I said, I'm going to roll out Panthers After Dark. It's going to be exclusively members only. So if you ain't a member or you say, man, I ain't fucking with y'all, I ain't gonna become a member, whatever. Hey man, you're gonna miss them because you're not gonna be able to get into them. I mean, they're gonna be some wild shows, man. I'm setting them up as some wild shows. I'm gonna roll out the guys who um I'm gonna have hosting it with me. It's gonna be a different group of people and everything like that. So hey man, Panther After Dark, man, will be a show coming on Thursday. It's gonna be a members only show. So hey, I mean, become a member. I'm telling y'all, become a member. It's gonna be something. It's gonna be something good that I'm gonna be rolling out. Now appreciate that, Mossy man. Hey man, thank you for becoming a member. Thank you for believing in us. Hey, we getting ready to do some stuff for real, for real. All right. So, like I said, important dates to remember: February the 20th and March the 13th. For us free agency, signing people, and seeing what some of these cats gonna end up doing, man, getting up out of him, or how we gonna handle Brian Burns' contract and a couple others. Uh, people who stand, people like Gross Matos, um, people like Shaquille Griffin, Troy Hill. We had a lot of people on the defense because we had a lot of defensive injuries, y'all. Um, Contractual issues like how we gonna extend people for us to roll out this money to go into free agency on March the 13th. That's gonna be something right there that definitely the sun is all in my face, y'all. I'm sorry. But that's gonna be something that's gonna have to be addressed. Um who else you got? Austin Corbett at the guard position. And I'm speaking on these guys. New member. Oh, Mark B. What's going on, man? Hey, man, we appreciate y'all, man. Like I said, when I roll out this, I'm just keep telling y'all about Panther After Dark. Panther After Dark. Panther After Dark. Oh, it's gonna be Thursday nights. I already know that. When I roll that out, then I got the, like I said, the lottery. Tomorrow, I will be announcing something. I'm gonna count up and see how many I got on the sheet tonight. And then y'all remember the lottery, what I was talking about. We're gonna do a 32 team mock draft. So we're gonna do the lottery on here. I'm gonna announce your names who are already in there. If you say, um, hey, man, go if you haven't already, go to the Discord and say, I wanna be in the lottery. Go to the Discord and say, all you gotta do is say, I wanna be in the lottery. I wanna be in the mock draft. Whatever. You don't gotta write out a whole paragraph. I wanna be in the mock draft. Put your name down. When I put your name down, I'm gonna shake up a bag. Bam. I might say you got the Giants. Bam. I might say you got the Eagles. Bam. You might got the Chargers. Study the Chargers. Study the Eagles. Study whoever. I know everybody. Oh, what the Panthers? Hey, bro. Everybody can't get the Panthers. I don't want the Panthers. So if I get the Panthers, I'm gonna put the Panthers back. So therefore, you can go in there and say, or we'll say the Panthers. Ah, whatever, man. You got around here, we know football. So you got to be able to know everybody in the league. So it's just a thing to say, hey, I know everybody in the league, whatever, whatever. Then you able to draft them. Then you able to draft for them. Let's go. Let's get it. So we're gonna do a draft, a 3 round draft throughout the league, and it's gonna be a little fun thing to do. We're gonna be on the clock, the whole 9. We're gonna bring you up. You draft for your team, but we're gonna do a lottery. And then on the tailgate experience, we're gonna do the draft. So that's it. We're gonna get it. And Mossy Man just gifted a membership. So y'all gotta go in up there, and you can get that membership compliments of Mossy Man 789 News. Appreciate that, Mossy Man. That's big too. That's big, man. When you give one and everything, that's big. Appreciate that, Mossy Man. So we roll it out. Panthers After Dark. Then the lottery is gonna come to you. I told you I'm dropping all this after the Super Bowl. So here's the show right here. Tomorrow I'll tell you how many names and everything I got. Bam, we're gonna get it. And once I draw for the lottery, then we come back and we had that draft on the tailgate experience. Like I said, that's gonna be a good show. All right, now today, let's go back to that. Appreciate y'all boys for becoming members. The the tag extension date, all that stuff, dates to remember: the 20th of February and then the 13th of March. Official free agency. Now, like I keep telling y'all, man, I ain't worried about free agency because you can get some players in free agency, but you're probably gonna overpay for them. And these guys that come here, they're not gonna be key and cornerstone pieces of the Panthers organization. They're gonna be band-aids at best. We're gonna see how much we got to pay for them. We got guys that we need to retain. They may use them for trade pieces or what have you. I mean, in your mock draft, you might be trading them in the draft. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But between the 20th and March the 13th, and then of course in April the draft, and we're gonna see what they're gonna do as far as our new guys. Uh, um, um, Dan Morgan, Canales, and all of that. So let's get into a little something else, man. Okay, here we are. Some news that dropped today was about Justin Fields. Okay, Justin Fields has different suitors that's looking at Justin Fields. Justin Fields is ending up the Steelers want to get hold of Justin Fields, and then they got out there that the Patriots want to get Justin Fields versus drafting a rookie at number 3. So Chicago will pick Caleb Williams, and then they'll pick again at 3 to stay ahead of Arizona because they want to get Marvin Harrison Jr. and Caleb Williams in the building at the same time. So that way he'll have a weapon plus DJ Moore when he gets ready to go on in. So if they do that, they're going to trade that number 9 to the Patriots. The Patriots already get their quarterback, and then they'll move down to 9 and pick again. So they'll still have 2 picks. Well, they'll get a quarterback, and then they have a pick, and then Chicago will still have 2 picks in the top 10. But what does that mean to us and everybody else? All that trading going on. Then that's going to open the door for Denver, Atlanta, or hold on. I had my mind set up earlier of how that's gonna be. That's gonna open the door for Denver, Atlanta. The Cardinals is gonna move. The Cardinals gonna move because they gonna want to get the next wide receiver coming out this draft. Marvin is a difference maker. Malik Neighbors is a difference maker, and Roman of Doomsday is a difference maker. Now, that means for us, somebody probably gonna get pushed down because everybody y'all consensus is saying y'all want a wide receiver. Get Bryce some weapons. That's the thing. Y'all want a wide receiver. So you're hoping that all those moves go or come to fruition. That all those moves on draft night happen because that's gonna open the door for other receivers to go down. Because somebody gonna say, "Ooh, I didn't know this guy was gonna fall like this, like that." Especially if you get 4 or 5 moves at the top. Oh man, hey Mossy man, we love you too, bro. We love you too, man. We appreciate it. But if you get people to start making those moves like that at the top, it's gonna push everybody else down. Now, what old goat wants to do is something like this. Man, let's be real with ourselves. We're around there talking about getting a wide receiver in the draft. And bruh, that's not real talk. That's not gonna move the needle for us. That's not gonna move the needle for us. A wide receiver in the draft is not gonna move the needle for us at all. What will end up moving the needle for us as the Carolina Panthers is at the point of attack. And what say, what you mean by that? What you mean by that? Go, what you mean by that? At the point of attack, you're sitting here on the offensive defensive line. We're not talented. We're not talented on the offensive and defensive side of the ball, far as in the trenches at the point of attack. You have Brian Burns, who you don't want to pay, who you're trying to use for a bargaining chip. You have Derek Brown that just eclipsed 100 and some tackles in one season. We take his 5th-year option, we exercise his 5th-year option. So Derek Brown ain't going nowhere. And you probably won't be stupid enough to be sitting in the same place next year with him as you is in Brian Burns. So you would extend him. Okay? Hopefully. Hopefully we do that. Okay. Now, ever since Derek Brown came into the league, he was supposed to play beside KK Short. I tell y'all that all the time. But he has had nothing to the right side of him, left side of him. Wherever he lines up, he's had nobody, no kind of help. You know, they went and got Deshaun Williams, and some of these other guys. But I'm gonna just use Deshaun Williams. Deshaun Williams' PFF grade was a 50.0. 50.0 playing next to a guy that just got 100 tackles. Double team Brian Burns, so double team Derek Brown, and the rest of them cats you washing out the way at a 50.0. You got so the man got no help beside him. He taking on the double team. So when he take on the double team, the other guy should be a gap penetrator going in there and against it. That's why we're ranked in the bottom, y'all, against the run. So teams wanna y'all just see the Super Bowl. If you wanna, if San Francisco continued to run, they'd have been hosting the Lombardi. They'd have been hosting the Lombardi. If they'd have set the tone with the run, this and that, but Shanahan got too cute to me, trying to do these gadgets and everything else, and moving these people around and all that. So you establish a run game, and how you do that, you beat people down, you beat people to death in the trenches. You have an offensive line that can move the ball and set the tone. You have a defensive line that can stop the run, stop and penetrate and get sacks and cause disruption, wreak havoc, wreak hell in the trenches. They was calling some people call themselves trench mafia. Man, you got at the point of attack, you got to be there at the point of attack. Down set hit when them big bodies start hitting right there and colliding there. You have to set the tone either way on the offensive side of the ball or defensive side of the ball. It's a game of attrition, a game of yardage. So a 50 PFF ain't gonna do it, y'all. That ain't gonna do it. I'm sorry. And the rest of the cats a little bit here, a little bit better, this and that. This dude was ranked 104. I'm talking about Deshaun Williams now. This is the type of people that we had playing beside Derek Brown. Ranked 104 now out of 130. 104 out of 130. Come on, bruh. Come on. That's terrible. That is terrible. I mean, that's terrible. 104 out of 130. That's right, DK. That's trash. That's trash. We putting trash beside a guy that a single season um tackler. We put the next motherfucker we got outside him is trash. Straight trash. So, with that being said, at the cornerback position, you got two guys that's journeymen at best, and a Shaquille Griffith and Troy Hill, right? That you probably gonna have to bring back. That's why you remember at the front of this segment, I told you guys to remember February the 20th and March the 13th. So between that time, you got to make a decision what you gonna do with them two guys as depth pieces, or hell, they might be starters come next year. Shaq Griffith, who's on his third or fourth team. Troy Hill, I don't know how many teams he on, but they'll probably start at some point in time because you got exercise. J.C. Horn, who y'all keep saying is a bust or whatever because his injuries, but you got to exercise his 5th-year option, at least for 1 year, and you might not sign it. You know what I'm saying? Which I think has dropped a little bit of his stock. It's sitting around 11 mil or something like that. I'm like I said, don't quote me on all the numbers, y'all, just yet. I'm gonna roll out everything, not tomorrow, but maybe in another show, what these numbers is gonna look like. Cause I got to the 20th, and we're gonna be going over these contractual issues because that's the next important thing. Everybody can sit here and holler about, oh, go get this, go get that. But you gotta sign people to their money. You got. That's why they brought in this dude Tillis. That cat, Bert Tillis, Brandon Tillis, or whatever his name is, Byron Tillis. That's why they brought him in. He's in the books right now looking and seeing how can he move some money, how these rest of these contracts gonna come out to get some talent in here. Now, y'all talk all you want. They pretty much said you read between the lines at that press conference. Mother told you he want to get some dogs in here. Now, okay, that's cool. You can say that. You can say what you want to do. But doing some shit is totally different. Doing and saying is different. Talking the talk, walking the walk, different. Okay? Walk the walk, nigga. Walk it. Walk it. That's all I'm walk it, bro. That's all I need you to do. Then he pretty much go to say, all them cats, Luke Kuechly, Musa Muhammad, uh, Mike Rucker, all them niggas that was sitting in the audience there, he said, we need players like y'all would. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, all this nostalgia, go back in the day. So he pretty much was telling the cats that's on here right now, at 2-15, y'all not cutting it. So he telling you, you need some talent on this team. Okay? You need some talent on this team. Now, Blake the Snake, we not going in the negative there, bro. We not gonna go in the negative. That's why we brought this dude from Kansas City here. And I kind of scratched my head. I'm getting off a subject a little bit. I kind of scratched my head about him because uh, um, Mahomes signed a good deal before he got there, and they don't have a whole big payroll over there. You know what I'm saying? They got superstars that they working with, and then they draft pretty good. So I'm gonna see if this cat can work magic with these numbers. Let's see if he be a numbers man for real. Okay? Let's see about that. If he can become a numbers man for real. Okay? So that's all I got to say about that. But that's what he doing right now. He in here with the calculator. Thing doing right now. Okay? So once he get a number right, then he say, "Oh, I got about 15 of them that we can release, and I got about 5 of them that we can sign, and this is gonna clear such and such million, and this and that." And then he get them other boys the budget, and then they figure out on the board who they gonna keep. That's how that's gonna work. Okay. So then you look at that. Let's go to the draft. We go to the draft. At an offensive tackle, there's about 13 offensive tackle that's worth a damn. Okay? In this draft, 13 offensive tackles that's worth something, right? That you're going to pick up between here and there. And I told y'all there's going to be quite a few of them that's getting ready to come off the board. That's going to come off the board in the first round. I told y'all that because a big majority of teams already have their quarterback. There's a lot of franchise quarterbacks in the league right now, and they have to be protected because I told y'all this game was won in the trenches. I just told y'all that. That's why I set the show up. I told you this game was won in the trenches at the point of attack. Okay, now 10 interior linemen, guard, center, guard, center, guard, left, right, left. There's 10 of them worth of crap. So that makes 23. Understand what I'm saying? You got 23 offensive linemen in here that's worth of them. Now, the rest of them that fall, not to say 23 and that's it. That's 23 that's difference makers that you're gonna come in, plug and play. 23 between 13 tackles and 10 interior linemen. That means that they centers, guard tackles, offensive linemen, tackles, right side, left side, offensive line, point of attack on the offensive side of the ball. I think with 33, we need to go grab one of them guards because we're picking at 33, and I'm talking about for straight quality for the pick, the quality in the pick and the quality at the position. Interior lineman, you're going to get one of the best day one starter difference maker because you want to go get a receiver or weapons for Bryce. We're going to mess up. We go get us a receiver because now you like I told you, listen to how I start the show. All that moving at the top, people trying to get receivers, you may get one to go down or whatever, and then you say, "Oh man, this was a good guy right here. We never thought we was gonna get this guy." Boom, they get him, and then you sitting up there just like we did at 39 and drafted a guy, Mingo, and was his rookie year wasn't stellar, y'all. So I mean, I don't know. It is what it is. I mean, it ain't like he had the best rookie year in the world. So I mean, hey, it is what it is. Okay, then something else we can do with the top of the third. There's 12 defensive linemen in there that's worth for them. Difference makers now. When I say 12 defensive linemen, I'm talking about difference makers, y'all. You need to go get a defensive lineman because I just told you. D Cash just commented and said that was trash what Deshaun Wilson put out on the 23-3 season. So you need to go get a difference maker on the D line, especially if you're talking about you getting ready to get rid of Brian Burns. And if you get more picks for him this year, you go do that. If you get more picks for him, not, but see, now you got to replace him. So you got to make sure you get multiple picks and good picks. You can't go get no fourth rounder at at 100 and something. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not getting quality. That's just gonna be a depth piece. I'm telling you, you got 12 defensive linemen out here. That could be difference makers. Day one starters. Set them up beside Derek Brown, and the guy gonna do better than a Deshaun Williams that's been in the league for umpteen years. 104 out of 130. Come on, y'all. 11 edge rusher. So the A, they gonna come off the board fast, y'all, when they start coming off. And a lot of them gonna start coming off in that second round. So by the time you get to the third round, you see what I'm saying? Ain't no need to jump up just like we did for DJ Johnson and all them boys, jumping up talking about and giving up a third for a third round edge rush that ain't gonna make. Look how DJ Johnson ended up for you. Look how DJ Johnson ended up for you. You know what I'm saying? That uh. You see what I'm saying? DJ Johnson. Nah, I know what it is. It's that sun on my pad. DJ Johnson end up not moving nothing, no part of the needle. So you talking about getting a third round edge rusher? Nah, cause they ain't about 11 of them worth something. He gonna be a project guy. See what's going on there, buddy? How you move? You get a third round edge rusher, he gonna be a project guy. Cause there ain't but 11 of them that's needle moving. Five linebackers in there that's needle moving. So you talking about going to get a linebacker in the fourth or fifth round? Project guy. So what I'm trying to tell, all I'm trying to tell you, cornerbacks. It's gonna be like 15 cornerbacks. So if you probably could get a good cornerback maybe in the third round. But anything you get, we got a second and a third. We got to knock out the park. Unless we get some more picks on a trade or we move back or whatever, you're limited. D tackle, interior lineman. That's where the worth is at the position where we're picking. I promise you, I'm telling y'all. Now you get a wide receiver, he's not gonna move the needle because now you better see what you do between the 20th and the 13th because that's gonna make a big difference. That's gonna make a big difference because that is free agency and see what you're signing now on the roster trying to lock these guys in. Now, mind you, some of them guys can be camp bodies. Going into camp, they're gonna be cut anyway. They just signed some kind of, you know, oh bullshit. But we'll talk about all that there. You know what I'm saying? As it comes up later. But I'm telling you, important dates: the 20th of February and the 13th of March. 13 offensive tackles, 10 interior linemen, 15 cornerbacks, 12 defensive linemen, 11 edge rushers, and 5 linebackers. Now, you do the math. 33, you're at 64, and then going into what is that? 33 going into the second, 64 going into the and then by the time you going into the third, you at 96. Then you going into the third at 96, and then they got a couple compensatory picks that's got numbers to them, and then you in the 100 this, 100 that, 100 that. So what Dan Morgan and Canales and them guys got to do when they get their board together, they got to set up a board, like I'm saying, to show the best player available at that position when we get ready to pick. Sometimes we might have to just pick BPA, man. It might not be the position you thinking we got to pick, but we're gonna have to. This team needs everything. Let's be real. I'm not trying to be negative about it or anything like this right here. This team needs some of everything. So, with that being said, if you go get a safety and he's like Hamilton on the Raiders, I mean the Ravens, would you cry about it? Would you cry about it? No, you wouldn't, because he's a difference maker type player. I'm in North Carolina, Red, because he's a difference maker type player. That's what you're talking about, dogs, impact players, when I say needle movers. And I think we need to get needle movers on this offensive and defensive line. Whether it's one of those 11 edge rushers, 12 defensive linemen, 10 interior guys. If you want to go out there and get another tackle, don't worry about D-Cash. I see you say, hell no. I'm sitting here telling you, man, y'all want a receiver. But think about this. Y'all know I talk about that little boy, and he was the most sacked. I'm gonna say it again because a lot of people don't wanna acknowledge this. He was the most sacked quarterback over there in Alabama in college, bar none. He was the most sacked in college. So I guess you're gonna say, oh, his line was trash and this and that. He's got two things that he's got in common. He's the most sacked in college, and then he's most sacked in the NFL. So what's the common denominator? You do the math. You do the math. He needs some protection. Even with protection, nobody sit there and say Alabama line was trash. Alabama line was trash. Okay. Now we know we put 9 guards, something like that. Then we went and got 2 or 3 of them. Throckmorton, we cut him. Then we went and got Gabe Johnson or Jackson. And I think we picked up somebody else. I think we used about 9 guards, man, between the left and the right side. But y'all want to go get a wide receiver. You want to go get a wide receiver. This boy, I'm going to tell y'all about this boy here that we got. That boy going to get sacked regardless. Corey, hold on to the ball too long. He's a bad decision maker. They lied to us when they told him that he was ready and he made good decisions and all that stuff. We got lied to. You understand what I'm saying? We ended up getting lied to, y'all. And we know it. We know we got lied to. But it's a thing about going forward. What you gonna end up doing now? Now we just gotta figure out how to build this team. And you build this team in the trenches. You go forward and you the worst position on the 2023 Panthers was the guard position. Because the 2 stars we had hurt. Now they gonna come back. Brady Christensen gonna come back. He got that pectoral injury or whatever. He came back. He only played like 2 games or something like that, and got and re-injured. Austin Corbett re-injured himself. So now you getting ready to go into another season, off season. That what you're not gonna do? You're not gonna address that and be like, yo, 2 guys that was supposed to come back, your starters, they come back and they didn't even finish the season. They hurt again. So hey, smart money would say to me, look here, bro. Let's address that position in the draft. Not with no uh player that has got to get up to competition, or player that's got to be a 3-year project, or player that's got to be coach, and then he ends up with a 50 PFL. He's 104 out of 130. No, let's go get at 33, which is basically a late round first rounder. And what usually falls in the late round first round? Because typically offensive linemen, unless it's a tackle, right tackle, something like that, don't go in the first round, especially top 5. They come in the second and third round, mid second, third round, right? So if you go ahead and draft one with 33 or move back, maybe to 37 or something like that, 38, and get picked, this year's picks, later third round and first or the fourth round type picks. You see what I'm saying? Now we can end up and have more swings at it. That's what makes sense to me. So we're able to take more hacks at it. Then we'll sit here and we can build a team. Link in the chat, y'all. Link is in the chat. Jalen, I see you up here. What's going on, buddy?
Nothing much, man. Nothing much. Just got through with work.
Okay. How you feeling today?
Good, man. Good. I'm feeling great. Feeling
Hey,
good.
Jalen, check this out, Jalen. Okay, I know you. I think I talked to you a couple times, man. You want a receiver, right?
Oh, man. I do, but I don't want to reach with one in the second round, though.
Okay. So
That's
you
my
did mock draft. You did mock draft before, and then you
yep.
got BPA, best player available at
Mm-hmm.
that time. Then so you can go on these different sites and stuff and see the mock drafts and everything like that. And then it tell you needs for Carolina Panthers. Now it's gonna probably say wide receiver, you know what I'm saying, edge rusher, and all kind of things like that. But see, that's the national media giving you
Yeah.
what you need for this team.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all, that ain't necessarily what we need for this team, y'all. You know, I hope y'all know. That's some analysts that really don't even care about the Panthers, and they just looking and saying, this and that. But for the life of me, I can't understand why you would tell us that we need a wide receiver like that, which we do. Don't get me wrong, we do. But to go out there when we pick inefficient and we just put out Jalen, we use a different variation between right and left guard. We used about
Yeah.
nine different ones. Started this year.
Dang.
Started this year. That's almost as worse as now that year we had 13 variations of the offensive line. Hell, that was 2022 or something like that. Then they see that draft. What we do? We went and picked Icky, right? We went and
Mm-hmm.
addressed the problem. It's a problem. Because some people think, oh, Christian's gonna be back and Corbin will be back. They did come back, bruh. They did come back. Corbin tore an MCL and an ACL on the same knee. On the same knee.
Yeah.
So with
It got
that being said, you got to address that.
you
Now
got
look,
to.
they have tried. They have Nash Jensen. They have drafted K. Mays. They have drafted Deontay Brown. They have drafted
All
a
late though.
guard
That was all late round.
all late, Jalen.
All
All
late.
late round
See?
guys. None of those guys were needle movers. All of those guys were project guys because
Yep.
they thought they had the luxury of developing a guy, you know what I'm saying, at that
Mm-hmm.
position to play behind this guy, that guy. But nobody ended up panning out. And even you didn't have the guy to start with to sit behind so they could sit behind and develop. Look at Savala. We drafted Savala last year. But what? We had to play Savala. We had to play Savala early.
He
The
wasn't
O line
ready
coach said
though.
the O line coach told you he wasn't even ready. The same line coach, the rat that was running up to the temple, telling all the news when he should have been coaching Savala. And
Yep.
he down here telling news. And he should have been coaching Savala. But that's not here or there no more. That's in the past. We're gonna talk about that, you know what I'm saying, some other time. Because see, all this stuff connect, Jalen. You understand what I'm saying? I tell
Mm-hmm.
you all the time. Now listen to this wisdom right here. This is something your daddy, you know what I'm saying, would probably say to you. The windshield is always bigger than the rearview mirror. Meaning,
Dang.
you know why the rearview mirror is small? They tell you, oh, don't look behind, Jalen. Always look forward. You got this big ass windshield to look forward. You got to know what's going on behind you so you can avoid it in front of you. Because that same pitfall might come in front of you again. You know what I'm saying? But you done seen that or you still looking at it. You know what I'm saying? The rearview mirror. You got to pay attention to both of them there, bro. You understand?
Yeah.
So the Carolina Panthers, year after year after year, keep doing the same dumb stuff, man. The
Cause
same dumb stuff over
cause
and
they
over and
reach.
over again.
Cause they reach with some of these picks. Cause Deontay Brown, we picked him late, and Cade Mays, we picked them late. But there was a reason for that, though. We was reaching with other positions. We were kind of reaching, and is that gonna happen again? I don't know. We gonna have to wait and see. Now, I will tell you this though. Goat, I will
Uh-huh.
tell you
Come
this.
on. Come on with it.
So since everybody claiming Dan Morgan, he gonna draft. He gonna he gonna top this draft. And Dave Canals, they gonna top this draft. Okay. We need a lot of positions in place though. It ain't just offense. It's some key, positions we need on defense too though.
That's what I'm saying.
So we
That's what I
need
said. You
dang near
got.
everything.
Did you hear what I said, Jalen? You got 12 defensive linemen. See the reason why, and I just looked and I said what I said was you got to understand now what I'm talking about. I
Mm-hmm.
explain it again. The reason why I said you got 12 needle movers, right? Not project guys, not guys that said, okay, well, he can come in on special team and he can come in on this. And in 3 years, because it's going to take us 3 to 4 years. I'm going to say the ugly word. I'm going to say rebuild. I'm going to say rebuild, rebuild, rebuild. We need to commit to a full rebuild. Rebuild, rebuild, rebuild.
Yeah, rebuild this whole
Especially,
thing, man.
yeah, especially, yeah, excuse me, I got my boys. Might be trying to catch a little cold. But rebuild, rebuild, rebuild. I'm going to say it. Rebuild. Okay? Texas Swarm, what's going on, buddy?
Swarm.
Kevin Kale, hey, now, what's going on? I see y'all, man. But commit to a rebuild, especially if we get rid of Brian Burns for some picks.
Oh
Especially
God.
if we get rid of Brian Burns and it's a 2025 pick or something like that
I
we
don't even
end up
trust
getting.
them. I don't even trust them.
Well, well,
I
well,
don't.
well, well, Jalen, I mean, that's who you got, Jalen. That's who you got. Right now, it's who you got. That's who they pick. That's who they pick. We showed y'all Dan Morgan was in the house. We showed y'all that. Show before last. Just the show before last. We're not doing everyday shows no more. We showed y'all the show. We're doing 2 or 3 quality shows. Not shows every day about nothing. We're doing quality shows. We're gonna show y'all videos. We're gonna give y'all stats and statistics, and we're gonna give y'all numbers and reasons behind it. That's what's gonna go down around here. The off season, they start moving and shaking real good. But with that being said, I told you, needle movers, 10 offensive tackles. So
mm,
if you want to go offensive tackle with that, that means he could come in. If you wanted to move Icky to guard, which I wouldn't do that because he's right on line, y'all. And the reason for I'm telling y'all, the quarterback was a dude that gets sacks all the time,
his
and it
footwork
was a lot
bad.
of stuff that was going on in there at that time is a mess. So yeah, he went through a sophomore slump. He regressed. Okay,
That happens
we'll say
though.
that that happens. That
Yeah, that
happens, Jay.
happens.
That happens. So where do you go from there? You go and you can get an offensive lineman,
Yep.
whether it be a tackle. You can go get an interior guy. Now you even got people hollering that they want to draft a center. They didn't like Bozeman's play. Now let's talk about Bradley Bozeman for a second, Jalen. Bradley Bozeman said he even said that he was uncomfortable in the scheme because he likes a zone blocking run power run scheme, right?
Yeah.
That's why they had brought him here because at that time we had Christian McCaffrey, who was easily 70 some percent of our offense, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
he kept the ball in his hand. So we was running, we had the ball on the ground, we was running the ball. We wasn't trying to do no air raid attack. We were running the ball.
Yeah.
Okay, you brought Icky in here, and we'll say Icky had problems when he first came along because they was gonna sit him or whatever. Or they had mentioned about some guards, you know what I'm saying, at first at camp when he came in here the other year. But man, he graded out at 91, at the end of the season.
Man.
Last year, not this year. So I scratched my head, man. And it's got to be a problem, when somebody grades out at like 91 or something, and then you come back and you got major problems, or you got problems, like he had this year, or gave up as many sacks as he did this year. And Bozeman did the same thing as a veteran that told you he was more to the power run game. So that's the scheme that I was just talking about. That's
Yeah.
that scheme. Patty Grimes, what's up now? I see you in here. So that's that scheme, Jalen. So a lot of that. So if you say, let's say Icky had gave up 11 or 12 or what he did. Now let's get the scheme right and cut that in half. That's only 5 sacks. You see what I'm saying? In a
Mm-hmm.
17 game year, if you get the scheme right.
Damn.
So that would be a waste to go out there and get a tackle. You see what I'm
Oh, the
saying?
pit. Yeah.
That'd be a,
That'll
that'd,
be a
that'd be a
waste.
waste. Okay, so now you got 10 interior linemen. That's worth a damn. So even if everybody pick linemen and that be 23 linemen, which that ain't gonna do, you know what I'm saying? And I already told y'all that Justin Fields is coming in with a trade, either with the Patriots or with the Steelers or with Denver. It's gonna shake up the board. Chicago's gonna shake up the board so much that a lot of people gonna be moving on draft night. All right, or before them same dates that I gave you, the
Dang.
12th of February. I mean the 20th of February and the 13th of March when free agency starts. There
Yeah.
will be some type of trade going on for Justin Fields or a movement of them spots.
Mm-hmm.
You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that top five is getting ready to move, and then somewhere between 12 on up is gonna move. So, like I said, some talent is getting ready to get pushed down. But I don't think it'll be talent that we'll need. But we'll be so thirsty. This is what I'm
Uh.
saying to you, Jalen. We're gonna be so, you know how we get thirsty at quarterback. We're gonna be so thirsty at
Mm-hmm.
receiver this year.
Oh
We're
gosh.
gonna be so thirsty for a receiver this year.
So we finna
That's
reach.
that's that we're gonna reach. We're
Wow.
gonna end up reaching, or because of that push down that's gonna happen, we're gonna be sitting there thinking one of these guys is just getting ready to do it for us to make us, that much competitive. And even though y'all know I don't like Bryce or whatever, but with 9 different variations of going, and even though he was the most sacked quarterback in college and we're here in the NFL, you still got to give him some type of protection because he can't throw to your favorite receiver on his back or on his stomach or with grass on his uniform. We wear white uniforms,
Yeah.
and you can see them grass stains. So you gotta protect him, or hopefully for me, the next man that's coming here to take his position. So
Dang.
I'm not worried about no receiver. And then in the third round, like I said, you got 12 defensive linemen. If you're gonna trade Burns, or because we got this trash beside Derek Brown, you got to get him some help. We can't continue to get pushed around, y'all. That's why we look so lackadaisy. That's why in 2015, what made this team look at the offensive and defensive line. And then, of course, you had a quarterback that could get the job done. Popping, I see you come up in here, boy. What's
What's
good
going on
with
with
you?
you? Ain't that much chilling, man. How y'all?
Good.
I'm
Good.
here today, baby.
What y'all got going on? What y'all talking about?
Man, Pop, I'm telling about draft position
Mm-hmm.
and then the dates. Uh, February the 20th
Mm-hmm.
starts negotiations on some contracts and extensions and things like that. And you got to throw the tag on people at that time. And then March the 13th is the official date. March the 13th at 4 o'clock. At 4 o'clock. Put the time on it at 4 o'clock. That's the
Mm-hmm.
official free agency time. And in between there, you know, because you got the franchise tag and an exclusive franchise tag, and you got this, and you got it, some type of extension. You got different ways. I'm not gonna get into all the paperwork and all the names on the paperwork, but you can start willing and dealing, and that's where your boy Tillis comes in.
Yeah,
Come
yeah. This is
February
what. This is where
the
we
20th.
we paying him the big bucks to get some shit done. Nah, they ain't leaving with a lot. You know what I'm saying? He's pretty much he dealing with a Rubik's cube. He dealing with a Rubik's cube, dealing with this with this all this little capital and bad contracts. I mean, but hey, we hired you to solve problems, not to cause problems. So, let's see if
That's
we can
true.
do it.
That's true. I would agree with you on that right there. He don't need to be mad. He do not need to be messing up, man. And like I said earlier, I'm gonna say the bad word: rebuild. That's what this team is in bad need of. It might as well just
Rebuild.
go ahead, man, do a solid rebuild. Do a solid rebuild that you've been trying to do since 2019. Go ahead and do a solid rebuild.
Yeah,
But
I mean they
they're
could do
not.
that I mean, if you do a solid rebuild, I mean, Panther fans already cry enough, But if you do a rebuild right now, I mean, I think
It won't be
Tepper
so
is
bad.
it won't be as bad, but I think Tepper is looking at it like how you gonna sell tickets that way with no star on your team. You have zero star. Because remember, I always give this example, right? When they show the preview for the game, you know what I'm saying? For instance, back in the day, right? If it was the Patriots going against Green Bay, you had Aaron Rodgers, and you had Brady, and then they'll show you the best wide receiver, and then they'll show Randy Moss. Like, you knew that was a lineup, but
Uh,
who you gonna show now? Because you ain't got no C Mac. You about
well,
to lose Brian Burns,
hey,
and you definitely ain't about to be sitting here talking about, oh, Bryce Young is the guy, because we seen that
yes, they
so
is.
far he hasn't been the guy. So you can't throw him on the
But
TV.
that's who
So
they're gonna throw up there.
what
Who
they
else
ain't
they
going
gonna throw up there?
they ain't got no choice. But I'm just saying, like, in that fashion, that is just not. It's just bad marketing as far as the team wise, as far as bringing fans to come. Like, y'all gotta just, like I said, take your seatbelt off, get in the back seat, grab your blanket, get comfortable, because it's a long ride. Because if they start a rebuild now, which they should, it's gonna take a minute. It's gonna take a hot little minute.
It's gonna take a nice little minute. Link in the
Yeah.
chat, man, if y'all want to pull up. But Pop,
Mm-hmm.
if they do this, I'm not saying, because see, we don't have a first round pick,
Right.
and you're probably not gonna get a 2024. Let's be realistic. You're not gonna get a 2024 first rounder for Brian Burns. I know everybody say trade on everybody mock draft, everybody named Mama mock draft. They got a trade for Brian Burns, trade Brian Burns, right? Everybody wants to trade Brian Burns because you're thinking you're gonna turn this team, this 2-15 team, around with one draft. That's what y'all think. That's what
Yep,
some of you
one
think.
not patient.
One draft, one draft. You think you're gonna turn this mother around? You're not
I'm
going to.
I'm
And this
just
I'm not getting into Brian Burns, you know what I'm saying, this and that. Like I said, if you trade Burns and you trade this guy, this guy, this guy, that guy, let's just rebuild
just
it. You know
yeah.
what I'm
So
saying?
be
Let's
it.
just rebuild
So
it.
be it. So be it. Yeah. If you're
So
gonna
be
get
it.
rid of Burn, I don't want to hear about where your sacks coming from, because you ain't getting them. I don't care
Yeah,
if he only gets 8 sacks. We ain't got nobody else getting 8 sacks.
Be right back.
I don't
you ain't.
care if you say we got Luvu. Luvu is not getting you 8 sacks. He
No,
showed you that he got
and
you 5.
especially
He's
because you had
not
to play.
getting
Because you know what? Because he had to play inside linebacker. He had to play Shaq play because
right. He
Shaq
had to
got
play
hurt.
sack.
And so
Yeah,
you got
because
these
he
guys that got hurt. Guess what? They hurt and they older. So guess what? It's just gonna be an Austin Corbett situation. When they rehab themselves to come back and try to come back early, guess what's gonna happen? They gonna get hurt again.
they gonna get hurt. That's it.
So you
That's it.
build your team with new, exciting, faster, younger players that in a year, even the needle movers that I talk about, y'all rookies, they gonna come in and have.
Mhm.
Look at all these rookies around the league that had all these rookie years that become impact players at certain times.
Yeah.
Hell, you go to Kansas City, who just put a Lombardi in the air, who just let the confetti just drop on their face, all on their head.
Mhm.
Okay, you would say their defense was the. You would have said that their defense was the weakest part of that team, wouldn't you?
Right. But it didn't
And
play
look at
like
that
it.
game. Look how that game played out.
Yeah.
Look at how they like big players step up at big moments. They playing on the biggest scale, biggest stage in the NFL. Ain't no bigger. Ain't no bigger game. Ain't no bigger
Yeah.
game, Pop.
It's so and look, I
And
mean, it's rare to see that, like last year they had like 7 rookies starting on the defense.
seven. Last year, just last year. And they won it.
Guys
They
actually
won it all.
showing up and won it
Then
all.
the boys
So
come back with a year and a half, 2 years, you know what I'm saying? In that defensive backfield and
mhm.
play big, locking
Yeah,
people down, playing big. Hey, links in the
yeah.
chat, boys. Man, if y'all want to pull up.
I see you,
I see some
D'Angelo.
people out there in the chat. Yeah. I see y'all in the chat.
So
But go ahead, Pop.
the the rebuild can start this year if you get rid of certain players and you can actually have some depth, some
Hmm.
some some decent players. No superstars,
No
but
superstar. No.
no superstar, but you have some depth. And then if you go back next year, because you're right, you're not getting a 2024 pick for Brian Burns. You might get a
Maybe a
2025 first
2025.
round,
Yeah, yeah,
maybe
yeah.
2025, but you're not getting one this year. And I forgot what that Ravens what they all were throwing in there. But
Well, I don't even know if that was like a real deal offer. That was just a rumor. You
hmm
that's what I'm saying. By the 20th and the 13th, you're gonna know what's legit. And then down show in April the 20 something, I think is the draft or something like that is the draft. Don't hold me to it, y'all. The date. If anybody know the draft date, put it in the chat. So when I
so
start,
this
definitely by
was
the draft, you'll know what's going on. So when them dates
so
start popping, when the 20th pop off of February to the 13th to the it's getting ready to start, shit getting ready to get real. We
right.
put it like that.
Eternal says if y'all want to get in the first round, you gotta trade Derrick Brown. Now, Eternal, I don't know how long you've been listening to us, but no, we don't want to get rid of any of our core guys. Our core guys is Louvu, Derrick Brown, and Brian Burns. That's our
Hmm.
those are our staples on our defense. We don't
And,
want to get
and,
rid of
and,
them.
and let me add that though. Let me add this part. These guys are 24, 25. Why are you
Right,
getting rid? Okay, I can see if they were 28. If they was 28, I'd be pounding the drum. Let them go. Get rid of them. You know what I'm saying? This and that.
right.
Get them out of here. They 25, y'all. 24 and 25. Young boy. Just hitting they stride in the NFL. They stride. Young.
Eternal. I
You
put it
don't
up here
normally
for
get rid
everybody.
of.
Everybody can read it, bro. You don't run nothing over here. I didn't need to
Yeah.
say the last part. I was defending what we think over here on Black Cat. You must have missed that whole statement I said after I read part of your statement. But I could take it down anyway. Uh, we wanna build on what we already got. The guys are young. We just drafted DJ Johnson, and he's older than Brian Burns.
Older than Burns, older than Brown, and you moved up to go get him. A mistake. That was a bad draft last year.
That was
They
a
gave
bad
us
draft.
a hindsight draft. At the beginning of the draft, they were trying to be nice and gave us like a B minus or something like that, B. But then hindsight, the article come out at the end of the year, and they gave the draft a D. And they only gave the draft a B earlier is because supposedly we got Bryce Young. Moved up and got Bryce Young. What was supposed to be, which I knew better, the best quarterback in the draft. The guy who was a year or two ahead of everybody,
Right.
supposedly. And you found that out not to be true. So don't believe. So right now, I hope. That's why I keep telling you, windshield is bigger than the rearview mirror. So I hope you learned a little something right there when they coming out with all this bullshit about these prospects.
Right. Well,
Andrew, what's going on? I see you out there, but I
Q
hope
said,
I hope
Q
y'all.
and you both been saying since the very beginning, since the draft. You said we gonna lose talent on defense. I mean, everybody about to get fired. Players about to get lost, lose their jobs, because they got to try to help Bryce Young. They gonna try to do everything in the world to fix him. Now that means once again you're gonna handicap Evero. Hope he can pull a rabbit out his hat and do what he can with whatever guys he got left after the draft or free agency. Um, just to help this young guy. And it is what it is, man. I mean, fate is already
Well,
written on the wall. You know,
I see,
you know,
I see it like this, Bob. The defense kept us in a bunch of games that I mean that we was even close to or had a chance to even win. We didn't win but two games. Let's
right?
get real. We didn't win but two games, and the defense kept us in game. We got games that we like. What was that? 9-0 or whatever that other game was, and all this, all that. And that's because we didn't have a kicker because we couldn't score nothing on offense. So now you get ready to, I really and truly tell you, I don't know what they're doing or they're thinking is saying you're going to trade your so-called best defensive piece
Hmm.
in Brian Burns. And this ain't a trade Brian Burns or not trade Brian Burns show. But I'm just trying to get it through my skull and say you're going to take away from the side of the ball that's been keeping you in the game
Right.
to try to get this dude more likely a receiver. You're not talking about a lineman. You're talking about a receiver. Now you just marched 9 guards out there on the right side or the left side, 6 on one side and whatever on the other side. I didn't know the numbers, but anyway, you just did that. Now you ain't even thinking about getting a guard. Nobody ain't even talking about getting a guard. You know what they talking about getting a guard again in the fourth round or something like that? Another fourth
That's
round.
that's stupid.
Yeah, I mean, they're talking about, oh, we need a weapon, or we need a running back, or we need a this, or we need a that, a corner, and a this.
Man, if
But
it was me, that
nobody's talking about the punter attacks, the Dave Gettleman, the Hog Mollies, or the Big Uglies, or whatever.
yeah,
That's why we getting pushed around.
yeah, that's why you're getting deboed. That's why you're getting punked. I mean, like, if it was me, I'm doing a whole offensive draft. That's and free agency. I'm gonna try to see what value is out there that I can get that I can just plug in into the next draft where I can actually go get, what I'm saying, to help the defense. But I wouldn't. I'm gonna fix this line. I'm gonna get a weapon or two, and that's gonna be that. Because even if Bryce don't work out, you still have to have it set up for the next quarterback to come in. Because
For the
I feel
next
like there's
quarterback.
gonna be another right. So you can't just
Yeah,
not go on the draft. You got to get the best guards you can get. You got to get the best wide receiver you can get. You got to plug some
yeah.
people in. I mean, that's the only way I see it. But also, you got to get rid of people who ain't doing shit. You like Corbett. I mean, not Corbett. I don't know what it was going to cost to get Bozeman off, but I know what I've seen is If you cut him, I think July cuts, you save $6.2 million. That's $62 million you can get somebody in free agency, and you can draft
Mm,
your center this. You can draft your center this year. I mean,
but
mock
but but
drafts
see
have
you
been
look,
saying that
but
JPJ
like
could be
I
there
but
at
like I
33.
tell you though, Pop. Now watch you're on a slippery slope. You're on a slippery slope. When you're talking about trading a player for a pick or trading a player for one pick and trading a player for to get the money out the way to go out there and get somebody else. Still trading a player for a player.
Mm-hmm,
Watch what you get, especially when you're talking about free agency now.
mm-hmm,
When you talk about free agency and you're talking about big men, y'all
mm-hmm,
know this. If a big man, only way a team is releasing a big man if they got a big quarterback budget and they can't retain. And 9 times out of 10, if they got a quarterback, they may let a good lineman go because he's a good quarterback. The defense is going to respect him. They're going to play back. They're going to play the run. They're going to do everything because they respect the quarterback and what he can do. So a good quarterback can max that or put a band-aid, mask or put a band-aid on bad line play. A good to great quarterback. The Mahomes, the Barrows, the this one, the that one, you know what I'm saying? They can do that. They know how to audible out and protect themselves and do all that type of stuff. We don't have that type of quarterback. Would you agree?
I agree.
So therefore, y'all, we have to draft talent up there because this dude can't. He showed us he can't come to the line and call for the running back or call max protections or stuff like that at the line. We've done seen it. I'm sorry, and this ain't a bash Bryce. I don't care about Bryce. This don't. I'm not bashing him or whatever. I'm just telling you about what I seen this year, not what I think. What I seen. Okay, so therefore we need an interior lineman. Okay, now he holds on to the ball too long. We need an interior lineman. Then when he's throwing the ball, I think we can go get more of the free agent or something else at receiver. Find a diamond in the rough or whatever for a receiver. Not at that 33 at a later pick. I think we need to go in the trenches first and foremost. And that's where your quality and quantity is going to be at 33 or trade back 37 or somewhere like that in that second round, maybe to get an extra third round pick or something like that. Because, like I said, when you start trading these players, you got to trade them for multiple picks. They got to be good enough to trade for multiple picks because you got to replace them plus.
Mm-hmm.
You
But
have to replace them plus.
you got to get value for it, and we don't. And that's one thing we lack. We lack a lot of value. But you know, uh, and then when we did trade away players, we didn't draft right. We didn't. So hopefully this new regime has seen where the previous regime messed up and say, okay, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're going. That's why it's hard to have faith in the new regime because we ain't seen them draft well in so long.
Well, you know what? And you call it a new. You call it a new regime. You might say Canales or whatever. But I say Dan Morgan, he was still part of the old regime, bro. And you know how I feel about that. You know how I feel about that. And I showed y'all how I feel about it. He was still in the room. And like I said, that was just 2 shows ago where I showed y'all he was in the room. He was talking about just this a draft and a half ago about the guys. And then you're going to get on the podium and you're going to say those guys ain't good enough. Those are the guys you drafted, bro. I'm sorry. You drafted those guys. Then you gonna say they ain't dogs and they ain't good enough. You need some talent. Pretty much like you gonna try your best to get rid of every last thing that you just drafted. Like you wasn't there.
can't eat that pop.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. They got to do a hell of a
So
job, guys. They got to do a
hold
hell of
on
a
a second.
job.
Let me go ahead, talk, pop. Let me get my headset back right.
Uh, but yeah, they got to do a hell of a job to convince me, convince y'all. We as Panther fans deserve better, and all we can do is just sit back and wait, really. But as far as strategy wise,
Say what now? Hey, Pop, can you hear me? Can everybody hear me in the chat? I'm sorry, y'all. My stuff at my headset it went out. Can everybody hear me in the chat? Hey, can you hear me in the chat? Okay, okay. Thank you, Flame. I appreciate you. I don't know where Pop went. Anyway, so hey,
I've never seen that before. I've never seen a team run out with five tight ends. That just blew my
I
mind.
appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all that I'm good. I appreciate you. I hear y'all now. I hear you now. Okay,
Yeah, man. If
let's
any of
get
y'all
to
want
the.
to talk about this, get pull on up to us, man. What strategy do you think they should go about this? I think like I agree with Goat. I feel like they should step back. They should go back to maybe 37.
That's what I see, Pop. I've been doing a lot of different, looking at a different type of stuff, right? And that's where I start to see value in things that we need. And like I said earlier, if we coming off, the Panthers need everything. The Panthers need some of everything. And they just say we're this away or we that away. You know, you can sit there and you can think that if you want to, but I'm sitting here telling you, you ain't. You're not. I so if I had a different one up there. Ah man, I messed it up. I had a different one up there I was getting ready to talk about. This was with trays. I had a different mock up there with trays. And I messed it up, y'all. I messed up my screen. Well, anyway, what they were talking about was this. The Bears was going to get Caleb Williams. The Washington Commanders was going to pick Jaden Daniels, right? Then the Patriots was going to take that trade with the Bears, and that's where Justin Fields was going to go. So that was going to take the Bears. See, the Bears want Marvin Harrison Jr. too. Now this is real. The Bears want Marvin Harrison Jr. So the rumor comes out that they want to. They probably ain't gonna be no trade with Washington. The trade or the rumors is that New England wants Justin Fields because they don't believe in the other two guys because they think that they have a team that's ready now. That's why I set up the whole segment about being ready now. That they could go with Justin Fields and what they got, and they're gonna trade down to number 9 and end up picking a receiver. So then the Bears end up getting Caleb Williams and Marvin Harrison. So the Cardinals want Marvin Harrison to go with Kyler Murray, right? So then the Cardinals say they make a move to go get more picks with Denver or Atlanta or Pittsburgh or somewhere like somebody like that. Because Pittsburgh has already got up there. They say Kenny Pickett is not making the proper strides to basically be their starting quarterback. They've already put that out. Now these are true rumors, not rumors, but these are things that's by their NFL beat writers. Whether they're writing for the Steelers, they're writing for the Falcons, or they write whoever they're writing for. These are their beat writers writing articles about what's going on in the building. Okay? So, with all that being said, this one came out today. I believe this. I believe this, y'all. So that's how that's gonna fall. So them that not being able to get Marvin Harrison Jr., one of those three teams is gonna move up. That's still pushing the board back down. You see what I'm saying? And then they're gonna get one of them top three quarterbacks, and then the rest are gonna start to fall. So at 33, you gotta think about it. If let's say five guys that should have went, because now you got four to five teams doing some major moves at the top. So 4 or 5 guys is gonna fall, right? So that next day, them GMs and stuff and went home and went to sleep. Now I'm gonna set it up for y'all. I see everybody new come up here. Y'all just hold on one second. Now, this is the question that I'm getting ready to ask y'all. Now, them GMs and them owners and stuff that went home and went to sleep, and you got 5 first-round talent that got pushed down into the second round. And old Carolina is sitting there with that first pick on that second day. You see what I'm saying? That puts us in a position to be like, hey, we can get another pick or two. So that's where I'm coming from. Trade out that pick, make your first pick an interior lineman, because that's where the value is. An interior offensive lineman, because that's where the value is. And then get some more stuff with them extra picks that you can get. You can get at least another third rounder, and maybe another fifth or something like that, just trading back from the 33. So I see Twan Don, I see Red Swan, and I see JP. Hey man, what's going on with y'all guys, man?
What is good? What's up, Pop?
What's up, Kendall? Man, what up, y'all?
What's
I
good,
can't talk about
everybody?
you, caller. What's going on,
Swan,
third
what up, Drake?
cuz?
What's up? What's up, Greek? What's happening, third cousins?
Yeah, man.
What's happening with y'all? What's up with y'all? What up,
Poppin'
Twan?
bullets,
Y'all
what
the
up,
What
bro?
real.
up? Popping brilliants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's happening?
JP.
Hey, Goat, remember the other night on Miss B show? We was talking,
Yes,
man.
sir.
And I know we both said this, but man, I tried to tell them then, man, at least for us, right? But I think to the whole draft, to be honest, everybody talking about Kalen Williams, man. I'm telling you, Marvin Harrison Jr. is the key to this whole draft, man.
Yeah, because see, the key was for them, Red, and I lost my place. I got to find it. But the key was they had to get in front of the Cardinals, so their
Yes,
trade partner was New England.
yes,
And when the deal came out, now I believe this deal. Now this came out of New England. This came out of a beat writer for New England said that deal was on the table, and this deal is real for them to get Justin Fields, move back to 9,
But go,
and I
you know
forget
what?
what. And I think they were supposed to pick up an offensive lineman at 9, like I told y'all.
Oh,
Them
it's
old
gonna be
linemen coming off that
10 or
boat.
12 of them boys go in the first round, man.
Go.
I
You know
try to tell you.
what makes it funny to me after hearing all that shit that the Patriots really think that they ready now. That's the funniest shit ever.
Well, I tell you, Pop, and you seen it. Now everybody can holler Brock Purdy what he wants to, but Brock Purdy did not do the one or two special things he needed to harsh that Lombardi. And
Yep.
I don't know what y'all seen, but that's what I seen now. That's what I
Yeah.
seen.
Yeah.
So now
Yes.
with the Patriots coming up there, Bill Belichick just stepped down or whatever. But for the last 2 years, what he been doing? He been trading out Mac Jones and Bailey Zappi like they was draws. You know what I'm saying? You start one day, I wear you one day, and I wear you the next day, and I wear you. You know what I'm saying? Do I get shit stains in the other one, and then I wear the other one? You understand what I'm saying?
And
That's the
go,
way
they
he
some
been doing
raggedy
it.
draws too, go.
And they raggedy draws to start with. To start with, they raggedy draws. They raggedy boxers. A whitey
Yeah.
tighty. You understand what I'm saying? He ain't have a 2 pair of drawers, and he kept switching. So you can't win, Pop. You can't win with you got us on, and you got Red Swarm on here right now. 2 of the worst quarterback playing teams in the
Yep.
NFC South.
Yep.
What did we
Shit
win?
in the
Nothing.
NFL.
Yeah,
In the
go,
In
NFL.
the NFL.
go.
Damn,
You just
you
put
right. You
you just
right, Red. In the
you
NFL.
just you just reminded me of that Michael Jackson of the you can't win.
Poppy, why I'm sitting up here thinking Poppy, why I'm sitting up here thinking the same thing about them scarecrows? I
Yes,
love that
sir.
one though.
That's
I
the best.
love
That's
that
the best
Yeah.
part.
shit.
The damn. Hey, Kendall. So
Yo,
I caught your show late, bro. So like, can you like give me like a quick 10 seconds of what you're talking about so I can get caught up to speed?
well, Twan. One thing, okay, I'll go back because I see some more people that's come in too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you know we got Shaquille Griffin and we got Troy Hill, right?
Right.
You could say they pretty much journeymen or they older cornerbacks and stuff like that. Nine
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
times out of 10, like I told y'all, remember these dates: February the 20th and March the 13th at 4 o'clock. February the 20th, you can start negotiations with your free agencies, putting the tag on people, and messing with that paperwork. That's where that Barrett Tillis guy getting ready to come in for us. You
And next
understand what I'm
week.
saying? Next week, that's when he getting ready to start shining. You understand
Mm-hmm.
that? All the way to March the 13th. And then he gonna have to start making he getting ready to start moving money now, and then he gonna have to start making deals at 4 o'clock on the 13th. Then you got Shaquille Griffin, you got Troy Hill. We probably gonna have to keep them guys, Twan, because of the injuries and everything else in the backfield, and they play. So we're gonna probably
Mm-hmm.
have to keep them guys. They men at best. You talking about 2 men, motherfuckers at best, that we're gonna probably start at some point in the time. That's gonna end up starting in our defensive backfield. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
then you got the Sean Williams that was playing beside Derek Brown, who got 100 tackles this year for us. We got a nigga that graded out on his PFL at 50, Quan. 50.
Mm-hmm.
Playing beside this guy right here.
Yeah, that's
Rest
not
of
a
Mm-hmm.
good
everything else,
match. That's
everything,
not a good
everything else was
match.
garbage, man. Everything else was garbage.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what I'm telling these motherfuckers where they getting value at, you got 13 tackles. That's worth a
Mm-hmm.
damn. Now that's worth a damn that's coming in the draft. You got 10 interior guys. You got 12 defensive linemen. You got 11 edge rushers. We have got to, like Dave Gettleman said, hog mileage and start at the
Oh, this
front
is
of
a
the pack.
trenches draft, man. This is a draft
Man,
for the trenches. Yeah.
so everybody else talking wide receiver, wide receiver. Where I'm going with this show right here, we need to draft somebody on the line, either side of the ball. That's where your value gonna be at. At
Yeah.
33 or
Okay.
stepping back and get a pick.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying right there.
And that's your specialty right there
In
too, Twan.
in a nutshell.
Shit.
I mean, I'm
Them
not upset
lines
with
you
it.
and go. Hell yeah.
Yeah. I'm not upset
I
with it
think
because me and Pop talking last night. It's like, man, look. Hold on, that was my mom. Look, man, we got to build this team knowing that we're not going to win next year. You know what I'm saying? And I think if they get that in their head, then we could be all right. So that's all I'm gonna say right now, so far as that. So if you building for the future and not building for Bryce Young, then I think we'll be on the right path. So I wouldn't be mad at it. I would want a receiver, but I
Yeah.
wouldn't be mad if they went over there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be mad.
can afford
And
those
then it depends on what's gonna happen with Burns. Everybody think they know, but we don't know yet.
Well, and see that's what I told him, Swan. If you're gonna trade Burns, please commit me to a full rebuild. Just commit me to a full rebuild. Don't bullshit with them picks. Talk about trading them picks around for another guy and this and that and all that. Go and get and find the value in this draft at whatever position, BPA at every position, because we need everything. But commit to a full rebuild, bro. If you're gonna get this man 6 years, commit to his system and commit to a full rebuild. We'll talk with
And
y'all
go.
price.
I know MDJ finna jump in here. But something I've been burning to say to y'all, man. I really do watching y'all's off season. I got a strong sense that Tepper has I know y'all. One of the big things for me talking to y'all, my cousins, about the motherfucker having his hands in everything, and will he genuinely step back? I don't know what it is, but at least my gut feeling, my sense, and watching y'all this offseason, I think he has committed to stepping back and let these guys do this, man.
Red. He said it before, Red. He said it before.
Like
He
that.
said it before, Red.
But
Oh man.
can you hear me go?
Yeah, I got you now. I'm back now. I'm sorry, y'all, for the audio. I'm moving a little bit. I got you now, Red. But Red, he said it before, Red, what he was gonna do. He's even told us that he's talked to people that've owned teams 30 years, this and that, 40 years, whatever. And he learned this and he learned that. Well, I've heard it before, Red. So now you got to show me, bro. I'm from Missouri now, Red. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
I
saying
can't
what you
I can't sit there and take this on face value no more. I can't do it.
yeah, I'm saying what you can't tell me that to a mic with a little slick smirk that they are pulling back. But what's going on behind the scenes is what I want to know. Are you really pulling back like you said you would?
Yeah, I just can't do it no more. I can't do it no more. I can't sit here year after year and believe somebody sitting there telling me what they getting ready to do and what they ain't gonna do. Then here come, week whatever, and y'all got to think the Matt Rule era. We won 5 games. When he stepped in here and that second year and he started putting his hand in it more with Ron Rivera, we only won 5 games. Matt Rule come up there, we won 5 games. The year he got rid of 5 games, then he fired him. Steve won 6 games. We won 7 games, and then you got rid of him and brought somebody else in. Then you fired him. History just show that you gonna keep on and keep on and keep on, and you not going and you ain't learned nothing. And I know hard headed people. I know them. I know hard headed people. Hard headed people end up, man. You gotta. That's like somebody pick all the time. And it's like, man, stop picking with that guy. Stop picking with that guy. Stop playing with him. You know what I'm saying? And then have some one day that guy got bow, knock him down. I'm put a hole in his head
Hey,
before he stop.
one of my best friends killed my first cousin like that, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Look, he
Before
was a
he
little
stop.
short dude. He was a short dude. Everybody always punked him, and around the little small town I'm from, he ain't shit. His name was Derek. Derek ain't shit, man. My cousin had already took his old lady, little girlfriend,
Yeah,
19
yeah,
years old. But he was punking
yeah.
him, man. My cousin swung a box cutter in his little Ford Escort at him. My boy Derek leaned over. He pulled up that
Uh huh.
22 and shot my cousin right in the head, man. Died right there in
Yeah.
front of all of us,
But see,
man.
Pepper that type of joke. See,
Yeah.
our owner Pepper, he that type of dude. He
Yeah.
that
Right.
box
Keep
cutter.
on.
He that box cutter. He gonna
Yep.
keep on
Hey,
swiping at
hey,
you,
goat.
playing with somebody.
Hey, goat.
Yeah. Ask
Shout
him,
out,
talk to me.
shout out, Red Swarm, my buddy. Hey, listen. I agree with Red Swarm. Let me tell you why. Okay, if you think back, the day that they fired Frank Reich, he came out for a very short news conference and said basically that everybody in that building agreed to draft Bryce. Well, that's because the people that didn't agree got fired the night before.
That's
They
right.
weren't
Okay.
around
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Now, what did he do? He kept Dan Morgan because Dan Morgan was never on board with the draft. In my view, he kept Dan Morgan because he was pushing back on Fitterer's picks. Otherwise, why
Hmm.
keep him? if you want to move on from Scott Fitterer and you had Dan Morgan in lockstep with him, you move on from him too. So that tells me that Morgan was the silent guy saying, I don't agree with all this shit. And Tepper picked Fitterer. That's what I think.
Andrew, let me ask you a question. Do you think Morgan was the one that Camping and the special team coach was going to go to Temple? Because they said they were going behind the gym back, going to somebody, going to Temple. So do you think
I
that was a
believe
chain of command?
I believe that Chris Tabor and James Campen were going to Tepper around Dan Morgan and around Scott Fitterer. And let me tell you, did you watch any of the Super Bowl interviews? Did you hear what Baker Mayfield had to say about the dysfunction in the organization?
Yeah.
Okay.
I heard.
Now listen, he didn't speak that out because he just wanted to trash the Panthers. He spoke it out because that reporter, who was a good reporter and did his due diligence, was fishing, trying to get information out of him what the problem was in Carolina. So if Tepper walks away from this shit, it's the best news that can happen to the Panthers. He's got to sit back in the background, be the owner, and let football people make football decisions.
Yes, sir.
And I think that Morgan pushed back on Fitterer more than you think, because I think that's why he's still here. I think if Dan Morgan had agreed with all the moves Scott Fitterer made, he'd have been gone too. That's just my thinking on it. I may be right, I may be wrong, but I don't think. I think that Morgan was probably against what the picks that Fitterer was making the whole time. That's just my thoughts.
Now we showed everybody a clip where he said that, and now we showed some clips where we had people telling us that he wasn't there. Damn. Now we showed you clips last week. I think it was last Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken, where he was sitting right there with Federer and talking about the draft. Just the draft that happened. Not this was 2023, 2022, and 2021 draft, where he was sitting there smiling with him, agreeing with the draft. Okay, now I can't. Something could have happened in the 2023 draft.
Yeah.
Like you said, the Bryce
But
Young
Kendall,
thing and this and that. But
you have to realize, Kendall,
uh-huh.
there's only 32 positions in the whole world that Dan Morgan holds. And you think he's going to put, how much of a fight do you think he's going to put up against the owner of the team? He's not going to put
None of them. Yeah, you're right, Andrew. None of them. I mean, the man sat there and told you he had a veto power. So when he came down there, he had to resolve that he wanted Bryce, and you know that's because of money and trying to get some type of star power face. And that's why Bryce was the consensus number one. And he thought
100%.
he had the conviction that he thought it was going to work out.
100%. I
Franchise
agree with
player.
you.
You know
You're
what I'm
100%
saying?
right. It was a
So that's
business
why he come
decision.
out. Yeah, it was a business decision. Bryce. Bryce is the name. That's what we're going with. I need a superstar in here. That's what he thought, and he didn't think it was going to be as ugly as this right here.
So
He did
here's
not.
what David Tepper should be thinking. What David Tepper should be thinking is, my head coach, my quarterback coach, and my general manager told me CJ Stroud was the guy, but I made the decision to go with Bryce Young.
Yep.
And Andrew.
Yeah.
Andrew. That's why, like you said, that's why he tried to clean it up. That's why he tried to clean it up, Andrew. When he tried Frank and this, that, and he didn't even know
Y'all
what he
saying
was
the
talking
same
about.
thing.
You remember
Yeah.
he said he was moving to second place because he didn't even know what he was talking about. Because he was the one that came in there. He came in the room in the last hour and he changed it. He didn't even know what the deal was for. The deal was to move to 3, and we was gonna get CJ.
And you can listen, Kendall, you can tell by his actions, his personal actions, of why he was so frustrated, because that it's not the first time he's owned the Panthers. They've had losing seasons, but it's the first time he threw a drink in some fan's face. is because they were down there saying, you fucking didn't draft C.J. Stroud. Are you kidding me?
So
and he heard enough of it.
So go. I hear Andrew, and in many ways, y'all are saying the same thing. Andrew was saying that he strongly feels like Dan Morgan was left here because when Tepper finally looked around and looked at this shit and looked back over the season, throwing this lick in people's face and being clowned everywhere he goes, he said, "Fuck, Morgan was the only one who had some sense. The other guys knew it, but they weren't strong enough. They went along with him. Nobody stopped him. Nobody stopped him.
I think the only reason he survived was because he had it right, and Tepper probably decided, man, I'm going to keep this guy because right now not too many people want to come work for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's a fact.
There you go,
That's
Andrew.
There
you go. There you go. There you go. I'm saying now how much of that played a part in the saying, well, fuck it. You here right now, and you probably got you let's say you here now, you got that right about Bryce, and you here now. Because
not only that,
I know Red. But Red, I know two. I know two people said fuck it. They didn't even come for none of the interview. They declined it off the rip. I'm not coming over there. I'm not working with you. I don't want it.
You and Andrew make an excellent point, and this is part of the reasoning that I will tell y'all. Even the Canales hire, a lot of that shit is riding on Dan Morgan's coattail. Dave Canales was excited for the position in part because he knows Dan Morgan. Dan Morgan and coaches do that everywhere they go. GMs do that everywhere they go. Part of the reason why owner hires a coach or a GM is because of the people that he can pull along with him.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You absolutely right.
Yeah.
You absolutely right.
Listen, I'm going to tell you something you guys probably already know, but I'm going to say it again. I went to Texas Tech. I'm a big Baker Mayfield fan. Okay. I followed that kid since he was there, and Dave Canales turned him around, man. He was playing for a backup role in the NFL. He was playing for a backup role, and Dave Canales said, "No, this is a guy." In fact, think about this: when Tampa came out 3-1. Then they lost their next 6 games in a row. They were 3-7. What did he do? Yep. He stuck with Baker and said, "You're the guy." And they went on and won 7 of their last 8 games. So what I'm saying is we've got the right quarterback. If we're going to ever think about turning Bryce Young around, it's got to be this year. He's got to show that he's the guy this year, or he's gone. Okay, he's gone.
Canales will know. He'll know when he's had him up close and personal.
Oh yeah, he'll know. He'll know. In fact, I'm 100%. Listen, I watched. I'm a football junkie, you guys. I'm retired. That's all I do. I read it 24/7. Dave Canales, is the guy. He's gonna help this team. Now they're not going to go out and get to the playoffs, but I guarantee it. He's going to put 7-8 wins up this year. I guarantee it because he's the most positive coach in the NFL. Even Baker Mayfield said that. They asked Baker Mayfield, what can you say about Dave Canales? And he said, I've never been around a more positive person in my life. He's going to turn that locker room around. And once those guys start believing in themselves, we have the number 3 defense in the league, and we can turn that offense around with free agents and draft picks. I'm telling you, you're going to see a big improvement.
But Andrew, you said them guys start believing. Who's going to be here? That's the thing. Who's going to be here? Because it's you got. I think you got like 12 guys that's coming up for free agency that's going to either got to go or got to be signed or whatever, and the talent just ain't there, Andrew.
But hey, listen, GOAT. Don't worry about the defense because they're going to do what Evero wants to do on defense. If Evero tells Canales, I need this guy or I need that guy, it's a done deal. They're going to re-sign him. So the real question comes down, what's going to happen with the offense? And that's where you leave someone like a Dave Canales to make that decision. Because let's be honest, Goat, you and I are both been on these podcasts long enough to know, where did we pick Tampa Bay at the beginning of the year last year?
The
I picked
bottom.
them but I picked them at the bottom. I picked them
So
at the
did I.
bottom.
I
So
did
did I.
too.
So did I. But something happened with that team. And it wasn't Mike Evans, because Mike Evans put up the same numbers he does every year. And so did Chris Godwin. The difference was the quarterback play. And Dave Canales owns that.
I'm with
He owns that.
No,
I'm with you.
Okay.
no.
I'm
The
with you.
quarterback is Tampa.
So this
Hey
draft is
JP,
important. This draft is very
JP,
important.
go out and come back in, JP.
Yeah, you
Your
spotting it.
connection
It's
is
blocking
messed
you
up.
up
Yeah, you
bad.
spot. Yeah, go back and come back in. Yeah, but Andrew, you know what? You say that right there, and I was one person that I had them on the bottom every time we got ready. I put the link back in there, Jay, if it ain't in there right now. And every time I had them on the bottom, especially because you know what their plan was. Their plan was to go with Kyle Trask. That was their plan.
Yeah.
Baker ended up calling them. Baker called that GM and was like, "Yo, give me a chance."
Mm-hmm. And listen, it would have been so easy for Dave Canales to bail on him when they were 3-7. And he told him, no, this guy is it. He's the guy. We just got to do the little things right. He told the team when they were down after that, he went in and he told the team, listen, you guys, don't panic. We got to start hitting our little things right, and we'll turn this shit around. And they went on and won 6, 7, or 7 out of 8. I can't remember. And they got right into the playoffs and won the wild card game against the NFC champions. So we've got the right coach. If Bryce Young is going to be successful, he's going to have to rely on this guy to turn him around, because in my view, the Panthers can't afford to ride him into a third year if it turns out like year one. They just can't do it.
No. We can't sit there. We'll be doing it in Atlanta. We'll be pulling in Atlanta if you do
Yeah.
that. If
Yeah.
you do that, you'll
Because
be
let me tell
pulling
you
in Atlanta.
something. The Falcons are going to go out and get Justin Fields or someone like that. And New Orleans, they're going to ride with Carr, I'm sure, another year. And what are we going to do? They got Baker Mayfield down there in Tampa. We've got to get some play out of our quarterback if we're going to compete. That's the bottom
Well, the
line.
Falcons, yeah. Me and Red, we was on a podcast Friday night. It was a Falcons podcast Friday night. The consensus, right? I told them if they drafted a J.J. McCarthy with that running game they got,
Oh
they'd
God,
be way better. Yeah. Then hey, I think they'd be sitting on top of the NFC South. Andrew, myself,
I do
me.
too. Listen,
But
I'm with you. And actually, Jim Harbaugh agrees with us. He said J.J. McCarthy will end up being the best quarterback out of this draft. Now, whether you believe that or not,
God, no, I didn't hear him say that, Andrew. But I'm gonna
yeah,
tell
he
you what.
said it. He said it.
I didn't hear him say that, and I wish I'd have
Look
seen
it
that.
up. Here's how he put it.
My God, I'll tell you what. I'm
Here's how
thinking
he
that
said
too.
it, Kendall.
I'm thinking
He
that
said it.
too.
He said it this way, Kendall. He said, in his view, J.J. McCarthy will be the top on the board for the quarterback draft. That's how he put it.
Listen
Now,
here.
I don't agree with that because
I
I live
don't
out
either.
here
I
in
heard him say
California.
that. I heard him say that, but I
live
don't.
out here. Hold on. I live out
Yeah.
here in California, and I watch Caleb play every game. I can't see J.J. McCarthy being better than Caleb. I'm just telling you what Jim Harbaugh said. Okay.
But in
Yeah,
the
yeah. I heard his
think
comments.
about the situation. Think about the situation. You got JJ. If Denver hold tight at 12, and y'all know Sean wants a quarterback, Sean don't want nothing to do with Russell, right? So if they get out, which they're gonna get off of Russell, you know what I'm saying? Some type of way, because somebody gonna look around, whether it's the Falcons or the Steelers or somebody gonna look around,
Yeah, the
and they're gonna
Falcons
say,
are looking at Russell right now.
yeah, and the Steelers is saying the Steelers is already putting out there. If you read any kind of Steelers stuff, you got to start reading and looking at, you know what I'm saying, all these other teams. And so you read the tea leaves on everybody. They done. They damn near they done with Pickett. They done with Pickett. So
Oh, he's
they
done.
could be.
He's done.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's
yeah,
done.
they could be in the
He's
Russell
gonna be.
Wilson.
Yeah,
So
he's out of there. But I
if
think
Sean
Atlanta
gets
is
his
going
hands
to.
on him,
Atlanta's going to end up with either Justin Fields or Russell Wilson. That's what I think.
Russell Wilson. And
Yeah.
so if they get off Russell Wilson, which they gonna get off Russell Wilson, it ain't an if they get off when they get off Russell Wilson.
Fact.
They
Yeah.
fall to him, and Sean gets his hands on him. It's a wrap.
Well, I've heard reports that Peyton likes JJ McCarthy.
It's a wrap.
Yeah. So if that's his analysis, he has all the power in Denver to do what the hell he wants. We know that. So if he wants him and he's there, and I heard Harbaugh's comments, he said actually that JJ McCarthy will be the #1 quarterback drafted. So they were kind of pushing him back on that, but it was more to it than that. He said he's the best quarterback coming out in this draft. And, and he's a quarterback guy. I disagree with him. I still think the top 3 guys are where they should be from what I've seen in them and the talent. And I went back and I watched the championship game, largely because that's 2 potential quarterbacks that could be coming to my club. So it's it's smart for me to watch that game because I get to see both of them in one place.
Man, I'm telling you guys, this is shaping up to be a freaking crazy draft, isn't it?
It is, Andrew. Hell yeah, it is, man.
Yeah. Red Swarm. My best friend lives in Detroit, and he's been after me to come out there to go with me to the draft.
It's gonna be live, man. It's gonna be live.
Fucking man, I'm 68 years old. I'm too damn old to be traveling around going to the draft.
I hear you, man.
you should go, but this is a deep draft too, man.
Yes, it is, Pop.
So many places, and like, I just, hey, you know what? Y'all might not even know this, but do y'all know Chicago only got 6 picks?
I did not know that.
Yeah,
6
they don't
picks.
They only got 6.
How the hell they get there?
They fucked up when it got.
Washington. Yeah, they went and got Sweat, and they've been getting other players too. Yeah,
they don't have.
Well, they got Chase Young, didn't they? And they just trade him right after that.
They never did. San Fran went right out and got him because a lot of people were surprised that they got him for what they did. It was really a bag of peanuts. So
all right,
but now San Francisco got to figure out what they're gonna do with it.
They got some decisions to make. Yeah,
they got some decisions to make. They got to figure out because see that move to go get him was strictly for the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Super Bowl run.
Yeah.
Now they got to figure out what the hell they're gonna do with it.
And he showed up pretty decently in the Super Bowl, man.
But you can't.
But Kendall, I got one thing to say.
Yeah,
Kendall, I agree with you, Kendall. Listen to me. This Super Bowl, you can't put that on Brock Purdy. Had Shanahan stuck to the run game,
he
fucked up again. He fucked up.
But I said that earlier, though. I had said that earlier, though, Andrew. But then I segued into that by saying, if he did 2 more, even though if Brock Purdy did 2 more special things, and I'm you at that quarterback position, you got to have that special guy that can come in there and do special things, or you got to have that defensive fear that he's going to do something special.
Yeah, well, don't forget, they also blocked the field goal. And he makes that field goal, the game's over.
I mean, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, I think Purdy left at least 1 touchdown. He left at least 1 touchdown on the board.
I agree with you.
I seen 1 touchdown.
Well, bro.
I agree with you.
A little bit too
and
aggressive.
that timeout he called when they had that momentum.
Yeah.
That was something.
I'm not saying Brock Purdy didn't own some of the loss. I'm saying you can't put it on him because Shanahan went away from the run when the run was keeping him in the game.
Yep. That's what Papa was saying.
And they didn't have an answer for the run game. Okay, but he started putting that ball up there like he was fucking Peyton Manning.
Yep.
Going for the 4th and 1.
You're not going to outthrow Patrick Mahomes. Are you kidding?
he was pressing. I saw Kyle Shanahan pressing,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, okay, so I cut him a little bit of slack because the Super Bowl, once two teams get there, it's like it's heaven or hell. If
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
win it,
yeah.
you're on top of the world. If you
I agree
lose
with
it,
that.
you might as well have the number one pick in the draft. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Fact.
either way
Fact.
you look at it, it's a heaven or hell situation. But his pressure was showing. Andy Reid's, I mean, he's been there before. He's won it before. You didn't see the pressure there. But
No.
Kyle Shanahan was showing pressure like he ain't never been to the fucking Super Bowl. When he went over and showed his emotion with Steve Wilkes to sort of override him on a defensive play call, I just said number one right then and there. That's fucked up. Now I
That's
get it.
fucked up.
I get it. You're the head coach. You're the head coach. But a lot of Falcons fans, and we've talked about this, was laughing because Dan Quinn didn't do that to his ass when he fucked up with the play call in our Super Bowl. Dan
Uh-huh.
Quinn did not overrule him. But he goes and he overrules Steve Wilkes, which was fucked up. That man has been running your defense all year. Let him run the defense. If he costs you a touchdown, you're the offensive coordinator. Go back and put the points back
Go
up.
get one. Yeah,
You
go
know
get
what?
Yeah.
You
one.
know. You know what it was though.
Yep.
Too though. When they went into halftime, I told everybody at the get together I was at. I said, 49ers have just been figured out.
And they didn't
that
change their game plan. They didn't adjust.
they didn't adjust. I said, 49ers just got figured out. It's about to
Yep.
switch.
Yep. Yep. And that's what the great ones do. That's what Spags and Andy Reid went in there and did, man.
No shit.
But
So
okay.
A little bit of
So
luck.
seg- let's segue that back to the Falcons and the Panthers. Let's segue that back to the NFC South,
mm-hmm.
right? Any of them teams right now that was right there in the AFC or NFC championship. Y'all know for a fact we don't match up with
Oh
neither of the
hell
four,
no. Hell
right?
no.
Neither
Yeah.
of the four teams right now, as constructed, as both teams constructed. You
Yeah.
got Panthers and Falcons on there, right here on this podcast right now.
Yeah.
And be
And
real
that's a
with
fact.
yourself.
Yeah.
Don't match up with none of them teams.
Yeah.
So therefore, this is what we got to figure out. Like I put them dates out there, the 20th of February and the 13th. That's the first thing we're gonna do to build this team going into 2024, going into this season right here. Which I keep
Yeah.
telling everybody now, free agency is not gonna fix this team or whatever. It's gonna be a
Right.
little band-aid on this team. We might get a player here or there. We might. Something might happen. We might get somebody. We might. But it ain't gonna fix this team to get us the wins that we're gonna need to be competitive with them teams that was right there in the show.
I'll tell you what, Goat. If they mess around and they say, okay, you know what? Let's go get Hollywood Brown, and in that 33rd pick, go get the best guard. I won't be mad at that. I won't.
Is Hollywood gonna move the needle enough,
I'm not
Pop?
saying
But
that. I'm not
but
saying,
Poppin
but
already said, and I agree with him. And I even, people keep talking about us, being a quarterback away. But I'll tell you something, man. That's not the mindset that I have because of what we just did. We have a new head coach. We're gonna be getting a new offensive scheme, a new quarterback. Poppin said this earlier. He says that he doesn't want to go into this thing basically trying to say we're gonna fix it all and turn it around in one season.
You
So
can't.
I
You can't, Greg.
interpreted Poppin saying that to have a 2 or 3 year game plan.
right, because see, this is my thing. With us, this can't be a sexy draft. We don't have the luxury to have a sexy draft.
Yeah,
So you get somebody who's quick, who know how to run routes, who can get open. Pay him a couple of $1 million, $3-4 million, sign him for 3 years because he's young, and then you go with that 33 pick and go fix that line immediately. Because I think that's just the best objective. And you ain't got to spend a whole bunch of money. He's still young. He still has value. You can get him for cheap. He's not injury prone. He just got to put him in our system. I think that'll be a great solution. Because this is
Hmm.
not going to be, he don't have to, we're not going to get a needle mover this year unless we just find a diamond and you know what I'm saying, just a hell of a diamond. We didn't like a Steve Smith. We didn't know he was gonna be who he is. He
Yeah,
just turned out that
yeah.
he worked himself to get that way. So that's where we at. We have to get the best quality that we can get to help this team flourish.
You,
That's
you,
why I would be mad at that.
you're right, Pop. But I think we might just need to just be driving for the goddamn best available player at every goddamn pick. You know what I'm saying? If you
And
ask
I said
me,
that too,
What's up,
D'Angelo. I
D'Angelo?
said that too.
what's
I
good,
wouldn't
y'all?
let I wouldn't but you know what? I'm gonna get the best. I got my eyes on like one more on a pass rusher. I hope they get him. He's ranked somewhere like 129.
You talking about the dude from Texas A&M?
Nah, from Buffalo State, Colorado
Let
State.
me
My
Okay.
let
bad.
me ask y'all this question though. I mean, since y'all talking the
Oh, you
strategy and
talking
where
about
you
a Kamara, whatever
Yes,
his name is.
sir. Yes,
Yeah, yeah,
sir.
yeah, Kamara. Yeah, that motherfucker is a fucking animal. That motherfucker, when they played Colorado, that motherfucker got hurt by 57 times, and that bitch kept coming in the game. This motherfucker. Here's something serious.
hey
He.
Poppin, you
Mm-hmm.
said something interesting earlier.
Mm-hmm.
You and I did not know. You said that Chicago has 6 picks in this draft, right?
Yeah, they're in a fucked up situation.
But let me ask you this. Hold on now. That's what I want to get at. How many picks do y'all have in this draft?
6.
Five.
They have
I got
2 in the
5 or 6.
top 10. They have 2 in the top 10 though.
Yeah. Right. Right.
So this is the question I want to ask y'all.
Yeah,
When
6.
you have a low number of picks, one of the strategies is to try to accumulate or
Trade back,
acquire more picks. Do y'all
trade
Yeah,
think
back.
it's wise for y'all to drop back off
I
of that
think so.
33rd pick?
Yeah.
I think so. I think we definitely need
yeah.
to trade back at
Yeah,
33.
That's what I
yeah,
said. But see, Red, that was my whole setup to tell everybody all that movement on day one is going
yeah.
to push about 5
Damn sure is.
Yep, yep.
first rounders down. So
Yep.
somebody gonna go home and sleep. Well, they ain't gonna be able to sleep. They ain't gonna be able to sleep. They're gonna be pacing the floor and they're gonna be calling Dan Morgan
Oh hell
that
yeah,
Friday
hell
Well,
morning.
yeah.
and
They're
you
Go-
know
gonna
what
be
it's gonna
calling
be,
that
Goat?
Friday
Yes
morning.
It's gonna
sir.
be. It's. I was just looking at a mock draft where they had us trading back because Bo Nix, the Vikings traded with us at
I
33.
saw that one. I saw that one.
You
Yep.
seen that? Yeah, and we traded with the Vikings and they took Bo
Yeah,
Nix at 33.
And
because
I'm gonna tell you,
somebody
y'all
gonna
in a
write
good
it.
position. Go. I think it's gonna be
Yeah,
more than 5 or 6 players because see, listen, you got 3 premium positions that's loaded with legitimate top 15 or top
right.
20 positions. You got that tackle position, which is a premier position. Everybody knows that. You spend big
Mm-hmm.
money securing them. You get one of them when you can. The quarterback
Right,
and the edge rusher and the wide receiver. So when it's conceivable to have 3 different runs, and y'all know what I mean when I say runs. When Malik Neighbors and Marvin
get
Harrison
on
Jr.
top.
get gone,
Yeah,
everybody
yeah.
gonna get anxious for a Dooms and some of the other top wide
That
receivers. So you're
junior,
gonna get a
that
run.
junior, whatever his name is,
That's
something
right,
junior.
Rome
Adonze.
Odunze.
Okay,
So
Rome
you're gonna get a
Odunze,
run. You're
and
gonna get a
and
run on wide
whatever the junior
receivers.
was.
You're gonna get the same
Okay,
sort of run on offensive tackles. So
Mm-hmm.
that's
but
gonna
check me
push
out.
D linemen. It's gonna push other people down the board, man.
Now I'm gonna
Right,
tell you
but
the
check me out.
beautiful
Check me
thing
out.
is
What
we picked.
D'Angelo just said, Bo Nix, right?
Yeah,
Ride
yeah.
with me on that, right? Okay. Now, all that movement is getting ready to be because of Justin Fields and because of Chicago wanting
Marvin Harrison Jr.
Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yep.
Okay.
And
Now,
you know what?
now you
Hold on,
getting ready
go.
to come with
Hold on. Also,
pop, pop.
Justin
Go.
Jefferson. Justin Jefferson want to get paid.
They ain't letting them. Minnesota ain't letting them. They'll be a fool to let that boy go,
That's
man.
what I'm saying. You go get you a rookie quarterback because they don't have no quarterback.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying to save that money. Yeah,
There you go.
yeah,
But
yeah,
see, and then like I said, you got y'all the Falcons, you got the Denver Broncos, you got the Steelers, and you got the Vikings. That's 4 teams
yeah,
right there that's in play for quarterbacks.
yeah.
Okay,
Raiders.
like the Angelo said, Bo Nix, you got Bo Nix, you got Michael Penix, and you got JJ.
Yep.
Those are the top 5, top 6 after Jaden Daniels, Caleb, and Drake. right?
Yep.
So when it gets pushed down, because they're gonna be fighting for Marvin Harrison, Justin Fields gonna fall into it, Russell Wilson gonna fall into it. These are all trades. You know what I'm saying? That's
Oh, it's
gonna
gonna be a
push
Hey,
them
good off
boys down.
season. It's gonna be a
hey,
good off
Every
season.
hey,
so
hey, go,
33 is gonna be hot. Yes, sir.
Here's a stat. Here's a stat I read today. Under pressure, the best quarterback in college was Bo Nix, and the worst was that kid out of Washington,
Phoenix.
Penix.
I saw that somewhere too. I saw that somewhere too. That he's horrible under
Yeah,
pressure.
yeah.
Yeah.
Andrew, Bo Nix has played a lot of ball. Bo Nix is y'all don't understand. Bo
He
Nix has played a
has.
lot of ball.
He
Bo
has.
Nix,
He
Bo
has,
Nix,
man.
Bo Nix had 4,000 some odd yards this year. They was quiet. Bo Nix has
I
played a
just
lot
can't
of
unsee him
football.
in the SEC.
Sleep
That's my
on,
problem with him,
sleep
man. I
on
can't
Bo
unsee
Nix
it.
if you want to. Sleep on Bo Nix if you want to.
Goat, I'm
Sleep on him.
trying. I'm trying to see him as a
Sleep on Bo
possibility, but I
Nix if you
So
cannot
want to.
unsee him at
I'm
Hey,
Auburn,
sleeping.
I'm
man.
not sleeping
so
on him.
Hey,
Hey,
I'm gonna give
hey,
y'all.
Kendall, I'm not sleeping
yeah,
on him because
that's why
I live out here in the West and I watched him all year up in Oregon.
Andrew,
That's
So
true.
Andrew,
Andrew, I'm
we
saying
tried
conversely,
to
I saw
call,
him in the
and the
SEC
best
down south.
and the
So,
best
so
thing, this is a plug. This is a plug right here. We started this year, Station 88
Yeah.
NCAA.
Yes,
Y'all,
sir.
it's gonna be, and now we like I said, we got it right. You know what I'm saying? We rolling. We used to watch the games on Saturday. I'm
Yeah.
You
telling
got to
y'all,
break it down.
hey, it's gonna
You
be
got to
hot
break it
this year,
down on
y'all.
that film.
It's
oh
Yes.
yeah,
gonna
yeah,
be
yeah.
hot
We
this
do.
year right here. It's gonna be hot this year.
Now,
It's
now let
gonna
me
be
throw this.
hot.
Are you going
Let me
hey,
throw. Let me
Kendall,
throw.
are you going to break it down? Are you going to break
I,
all the
Yeah.
quarterbacks down?
I'm sleeping
Oh
on
yeah.
Bo Nix.
I'm gonna break quarterback. I'm gonna break quarterbacks down. I'm gonna
Me
break
too,
wide
Greek.
receivers down, and
I'm not.
I'm gonna break them linemen down, y'all. From now
Yeah,
to the draft, I'm gonna break them down.
that dude
So
Sean
Wow.
1 year and
let me let me.
they titty shaking for the smoke.
But
That's
but
how
he
long
got.
he
Hold
been
on,
Hey,
hold
playing
on,
for.
hold on, hold on, hold on, real quick.
who we
The
didn't
10
take it for,
years.
Twan? Who you
But
talking
hold
about?
on,
Who you talking about?
Bo
But
Nix been playing forever.
the thing about Bo
That's what
Nix
I
though.
done told you. He played a lot of
He only
ball.
got
You
one
sleep
year
on
at
him if you want
Okay,
to.
hold
You
on, hold
sleep
on.
on him if you
Yeah.
Twan,
want to.
what
You sleep
Hey,
on
you
him if you
damn
Twan,
want
right
to.
I'm shaking my titties for him.
what you gotta
He's
Yeah,
the
understand
best
about what
player.
you
yeah.
gotta understand about Bo
Yeah.
Nix though. He's
You might
gotten
as well
better
keep
every.
Bryce.
The thing
You
about Bo
sleep
Nix
on him if
is
you want to.
he's gotten better
I'm
every
sleeping.
year. Every year he's gotten better. So
Yep.
that's a positive
Cause of
thing
the
that you
refs,
want to
Pop.
see.
Cause
It
of the
is
refs.
popping. I agree with
When
you,
I said
Pop.
he
So
I
played a
agree.
lot of ball, that's what I'm talking about. When he played
so
a lot, and you get better by repetition, y'all, in
Right.
anything.
Fact. Fact.
unfortunately, Bryce didn't do that. He had 17 anyway. Y'all get my point.
Damn,
But
Poppy. Why you had to do
Yeah,
that, man?
this is another thing I
I'm
want
not
to throw
gonna
out
get
exactly.
there.
started on this
That
man.
way,
Bo
Pop.
This is
Nix.
another
That
thing I
way,
want to
Pop.
throw out there.
Popping
That way, Pop.
always
That
stirred the
way.
pot, man.
I want to throw something out
Exactly.
there.
That
I'm gonna
way,
tell
Pop.
y'all why the draft could really work for the Panthers because they picked number one in
Yeah.
every round of the
Yep.
draft. You can will and deal because some people, man, I'm telling y'all, there is some good talent out here.
Damn, Pop, you right about that.
I was just breaking some shit down with Twan the other night. People that he
Yeah.
even know, he's like, yo, I'm telling
Cause
you.
what happens, and we all know this, teams go home the night of when whatever particular round, okay, after the first round, Thursday night. You know y'all they gonna be blowing Dan Morgan
They gonna be
phone up.
calling us. They gonna call
Yeah.
us. They
Yeah.
gotta come see us, man. They gotta come see us, man.
Yes,
I'm telling
sir.
you, somebody
Yes,
gonna
sir.
sleep. They gonna be pacing that flow. I'm telling you. They gonna
He
call us.
ain't getting no sleep.
These
He ain't
things,
getting no sleep
these
Thursday
things is
night.
straight back. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Ain't no way he can sleep.
I ain't trading
Yeah.
back. Fuck that. Stay
Twan,
here.
not
Twan,
Twan. Shit, you
shit.
tripping, Twan?
I'm
Man,
Why?
they
staying
Why
gonna
here.
not?
offer y'all so
Nah,
much. They gonna offer
you got,
y'all so
yeah,
I
much,
mean,
man.
I mean,
you
if you
gotta
look,
trade. We gotta
listen.
trade back, Twan.
I'm just telling you. Listen, no, we don't have to. I'm just saying,
No, you don't have
it,
to.
it's got to be something you just can't resist, bro. It ain't gonna be
And
no
I
just
think
shooting
y'all
for
gonna
straight
get
back.
more than one of them sort of deals.
And that's
I
what's
think
gonna
y'all
happen.
gonna get more than one of them sort of deals, Twan.
Exactly, because
Yeah,
somebody
yeah,
somebody that was
you did.
supposed to go in the first round, it's like
Yeah.
Goat said, it's gonna be 5 or 6 motherfuckers that fall out of that
Yes.
first round, and
Yes.
motherfuckers gonna be salivating over them to get
And
to them in the second round.
and guess what,
Yeah.
Twan? When they asked for us to trade back, I want to trade back for some picks and I want a player.
Yeah, I mean, but we can
Mmm.
we
Yeah,
demand that
yeah,
though?
Pop. Yeah, you can
Can
get a
we
Mmm.
player
demand
and
that?
if you can get a
Well,
player
the
and a
only way
pick.
The only way we would get a player though, is depending on how far we goddamn
Yeah,
go
but
back.
I'm
You
saying,
know
but
what I'm
can
saying?
we demand that?
Yeah.
Are we a team that can
It
demand that?
depends.
Man,
It
ain't nobody
depends on
gonna laugh us out the fucking room,
it
bro.
depends on who want to
But
move up.
Twan, it's not about the team. It's about the position. That
Mm-hmm.
number 33.
I know. I want to be realistic though, man. I mean, being unrealistic has got us where we are. Storm,
I feel
Swarm.
you.
That
Fuck
is
it, man.
realistic.
Look, I'm tired of all these tricks and shit, man.
That
Look,
ain't no
I'm like
trick.
I'm saying. I'll trade back if they make that deal so sweet, man, that you can't avoid it.
I
But it
think
just
y'all
as
gonna have a
easy just
couple
to
of them
trade
offers
back.
this year,
Fuck that.
honestly.
Twan, let me tell you something. Let me just tell you something.
If it's some shit we
Trading back,
really need, I'm not trading
Twan,
back.
Twan, listen. Trading back in this draft here is better than this dumb shit we've been doing trading up in the third round, giving away
Right.
third rounders and all types of stuff like that. We getting ready to get a pick and possibly a player like Pop said. When he just said that, that is feasible.
Yeah, I don't know.
Very
Fine, bro.
feasible.
You know, I think outside the box,
I
baby.
know, man. I'm
I
just so
do
tired.
this.
Hey, Swarm, can you feel me? I'm so tired of getting finessed. I
I
don't have
got you
any
No,
exactly
reason.
where you coming
I have
from.
no reason to believe that they're gonna get it right.
Twan. There is no way you can be finesse when you got the power to be the finesser this time.
Man, we are the most getting fucking
We got
finesse
finesse
team in
one
the NFL.
time. We got finesse one time. It not other teams have done stupid shit too.
And Twan, the beautiful
Everybody's gonna
thing
do it.
about this is I get where you coming from. So I'm thinking, say that, okay, I don't know what you would say y'all number one position of need is next year. But let's just say it's receiver,
Probably
right?
damn O line.
Okay. Oh, all right. And oh man, Twan, while you was off the line, we was just off the air, we was just talking about this. So say you got the number three, or no, yeah, shit, it's gonna be
Guard
seven,
to be
eight of them guys already gone.
Guard to be
So say
exact.
the number eight, O lineman is sitting right there. Didn't get drafted night one, and you're sitting there saying, you know what? All right, let's get him soon as we come out tomorrow.
Yeah, I said
But
probably.
when you do your comparison, say that it's not that much difference between the number 8 tackle and the number 10 tackle. All right. So I mean, if somebody offer you to slide back four positions, Minnesota offer for you to slide back 4 or 5 positions.
That's 10 positions. If we trade with Minnesota, we'll go to the 40. We'll get the 43rd pick.
So in a situation like that, what
Um,
y'all was saying is they got to give you something else. They got to give you a player
Yeah, they
and
can go
that
back
pick
10 spots. Yeah, we can go back 10 spots. That's a nice little
that's a
move
lot
there.
of
and a
spots, bro.
So
third and a third and a
so we'll
third.
get
You can get that.
we would get a third and probably a fifth. You know what I'm saying, to go back 10 spots.
Yeah, they got to
Absolutely.
give us
You can
that.
get that, Twan, and still probably get that number 9 and number 10 tackle.
I still want to look. I said probably. I still want a receiver. If we can trade back and get the receiver we want and an offensive guard we want, then pull the trigger. But I ain't trying to go back too far. Poppin convinced me on that shit. You know, like, man, I don't want to go too fucking far back and glide over guys that we definitely can use, bro.
Twan,
I
what I'm
don't want
telling
to
you
get
this
cute.
right here, and this is what he's saying. You got the most sacked quarterback in the NFL and the most sacked quarterback in college. This
Hey, I
boy
got to
holds on
protect
to the
him.
ball entirely too long. Protection or no protection, he's gonna hold on to the because it's
Oh,
built
so
in
you
him.
saying it's
It's built in
decision
him.
making. You saying
His
it's
decision
decision
make
making.
is built
Okay.
in him, and he can't see the middle of the field. No matter what nobody else tell you, it's done been proven with his interceptions and everything
And
like
I
that.
still say that's the
Got
real
to get,
reason why y'all wanted Dave Canales so much, because
yeah.
it's come out. I've heard this that he sped up even Baker Mayfield's release time. That's what he does with
I
quarterbacks.
showed you. On an average, he was getting about what Carlos said he wanted. He said it at his press conference. He wanted to get the ball out in 2.7. He was getting it out on an average of 2.8, but that was
Yeah,
on an average. Sometimes.
Kendall, in the
Yes,
playoffs,
sir.
it was 1.8,
Damn.
1.8 seconds. He was getting rid of
Yeah.
that ball.
Baker was. So Baker
Yeah,
got better. Baker got even better. So if
yeah.
Bryce even gets even better, you understand? You got to get him some protection
But hey,
because
look, and look,
he's still gonna hold on to that ball. I
I
don't
want
care
to tell, I want to,
what Canales is running.
I
He
want
gonna
to tell
hold on to
Andrew
that ball.
something though. Andrew, it's not how quickly you can get the ball out of your hands. You got to be fucking accurate too, bro.
Yeah,
And
you're
see it.
right.
Yeah,
Quan,
you got to see
Quan,
it too.
You know what
Quan.
I'm saying?
Yeah, you're right, Twan. But
Bryce got the ball out of his hands pretty quick. If we really look like
no,
it, it's just his
no,
accuracy
Twan.
was fucked up.
Actually he was the worst in one of the worst in the NFL as far as
Right.
holding the ball. That's why he
Maybe
got sacked 60 times. Okay,
exactly.
Exactly.
the line didn't break down in all those 60 sacks. He just
No,
held
no,
on
they
to the
didn't.
ball
It
too long.
didn't. I
Yeah.
Yeah.
think he made that line look worse than they really were.
I was gonna
He
laugh at
did.
what Twan.
He
I'm
did,
laughing at
Twan.
what Twan just said because he say you
That's what he
accurate.
said, Twan.
I wonder how
Yeah.
quickly Desmond Ritter got that shit out. It didn't matter because he was throwing picks or falling.
Yeah.
So
You get
Yeah.
it
the
matters
shit
what
out
they
quick
do
and
with it
you
when
throw
they
the
get it
pick.
out.
That don't
They
mean
Yeah.
were
shit.
just bad. Yeah, they were just bad, Red. They were just bad. They were just bad.
I got it out quick though. I just threw it to the other team.
How was that, Coach?
Yeah. They were
He
just
you,
threw
bad.
it to the
you
side
dumb,
like you just
you
don't get it.
dumb motherfucker.
Hey
You.
Pop, hey no, look, hey Storm, he said you just don't get it, do you? You said get it
This
out quick.
motherfucker here.
Yeah,
That's what the
between the
coach
both of
say.
them,
This motherfucker here.
y'all see the
Hey,
numbers, man. The numbers
hey,
don't lie, man. The situations don't lie. They were just bad. Both
by
of them.
Yeah.
week 8, Dave Canales gonna be saying, "Boy, I can't wait to get rid of your little motherfucking ass."
I believe that. I believe
They're
that to
gonna
You
be
turn
might
his
be
true.
ass.
right.
I believe
They're gonna
that to
turn
be
his
You
true.
ass
might
back
be
to
right
a.
with it,
They're gonna turn him
Swarm.
back into an alcoholic.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
shit can be ugly, but for so long, man. Hey,
Oh
look,
yeah, 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 yeah,
that's
yeah.
why
You,
bitches
you, you
don't
heard me,
fuck with
Twan?
Seal no more.
You heard me,
Mhm.
Twan?
It's like,
They're gonna
hey, look,
turn.
nigga, we
They're gonna
dealt
turn his
with your
ass back
ass
into an
before,
alcoholic again.
Say what? Go. Say what, Poppy?
They're gonna turn his ass back to an alcoholic again.
yeah, man.
Oh, damn! Don't drive that man to drinking again.
No, don't do that to
Drinking and drinking
Fucking
and
with
running
Bryce,
women.
bro.
Now he gonna be drinking and running women.
So the nigga
him.
can't throw shit.
Fucking with that damn Bryce, bro.
he
He
gonna say. He
all
gonna
you see all
say.
the people he got fired.
Right.
Yeah. Well,
Man, but
I think he
you
might
can
have a
really do a
short
great
leash.
job in this
He might
draft,
have a
man. If
short
they
leash, man, because you can see it. You can see, sticking with a guy like that. I mean, it's not like the NFL has never seen where a top first round pick has been moved on
Yeah,
from after 1 or 2 years.
yeah. It
So,
ain't nothing like it never happened.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it ain't nothing wrong with y'all saying, hey, listen, man, we invested a lot to get this guy. We're gonna see what we got. We're gonna
We
see
Don't
what
got
let
to
we
the Bryce
got.
know.
don't
We
don't
got
let
to
the
know.
Bryce fans
Yeah.
don't tell the Bryce fans that. They let them tell it. God damn it. It ain't never been a first round goddamn quarterback to bust. They act like Bryce can't be a bust.
D'Angelo, you think that's something over here? Who talking about listen, a third round pick. It's too early to give up on him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're
I
right.
got a motherfucker over here told me it's been more first round busts for quarterbacks than it has any other round. I said,
I brought that shit up so many times though, Swarm. It's just like a lot of times these first round motherfuckers don't hit because they don't go to good teams, bro.
but not only that,
They
Twan, I
don't
told
hit.
him, I said, you might be right in a general scheme of things. I said, but numerically, you're wrong because the percentages don't bear that out. First of all, let me tell you
But
this. A first round pick, a team is going to stay with, I don't care what position he is. You look at most first round picks, they have a higher percentage of reaching their second contract than any other round.
I don't
So
know.
if you can make yourself one of the 32 picks to go in the draft, you have a greater percentage of going to your second contract. That right there nullifies that whole argument.
I'm gonna tell
Point
you like
blank,
this,
period.
Swarm. Let me challenge you on that though, Swarm.
Okay.
I think you're gonna see in the future. You know what I'm saying? And people gonna say, "Torrin, you crazy," because it's about money. But if somebody can sit you down and prove to you that if you don't go top 10 or whatever, and if you're willing to wait and go to and be willing to go to a better team, you know what I'm saying? It's like if you get picked top 10, right, you're a lottery pick. You're gonna get your money like immediately. But rookie money is still short money. But if somebody can sell you on going later and going to a better team and selling you on how much money you can make over your career, opposed to these guys going early to bad teams and then we don't hear about their ass no damn more. I'm telling you, you're gonna see guys start saying, "Look, I don't give a fuck where I get picked. I want to go to this team. It's already kind of started.
That's not a player option, though,
No,
Twan.
that's not a player option. Trying they
Well,
hold
look at
y'all in
these
there
motherfuckers
because
that's trying
that's
to
not
hold out and trying to
Twan,
go
but
to certain teams, bro.
that's not a player option, Twan, and it depends on your position. Now the quarterback position is going to be that top 5 that's going
Yeah,
to pick you up, and they're going to be
yeah.
bad teams because they probably don't have a quarterback, not a
But who,
franchise guy. So
but who
that's
gonna
what
pick up
they
a guy?
looking for.
But who gonna pick up a guy that don't want to play for you?
Well, I understand that, and
If
that's why you
somebody come
got
out and
like
say,
the
I don't want
situation
to play
like
for
Eli
any one of the
Manning
top
and all
10
that.
teams in the
They
draft, what
just
they gonna
trade
do?
him back if
You gonna trade
somebody
him
else is
anyway?
willing to trade for him. They're gonna trade out of him. Yeah, if
Well,
he's
then,
sitting there kicking and screaming that he don't want to go for that team.
that's all I'm
Okay,
saying is
I
you
would.
You
might
know
see
what
that shit
that you
again.
know what you know what that smart mouth ass kid gonna do for himself? He gonna cost himself probably $7 million on his rookie
Yeah,
It
deal.
didn't cost Eli.
yeah.
It didn't fucking cost Eli nothing.
I have to go back and look at that. I don't know right off the top of
It
my
didn't
head
cost
now,
Eli
Twan.
shit. I'm talking
I
about in the
don't know.
long term. That's what I'm talking about in the long
I ain't saying in the long run. I said on his
term.
rookie deal. I said
No,
on
no,
his
I'm not
rookie
talking about
deal.
that's why I said if somebody can sell you, you're gonna have a better career opposed to being getting your money immediately as a rookie.
And
And then
now I'm not
come on,
arguing
man.
with you on that. I mean,
You know what I'm
history
saying?
probably has bared that out, and a big one on that. Now you got to look at Patrick Mahomes. I
Yeah.
mean, you got to look at him because he was I would dare say fortunate to fall into Andy Reid's hands.
Yeah, I
Right.
got a
So it's the
question for Go.
combination.
Gotta be
Hey,
lucky,
Andy
hey,
bro.
Reid,
hey, Go.
Andy
Listen,
Reid did
I,
that though, Swarm. Andy Reid did that. Andy Reid told them they could fire him if it didn't work
I
out.
get.
Andy Reid had that type of conviction for
Hey,
Patrick
Go.
Mahomes.
Okay.
Yes,
Hey,
sir.
Go.
Yes, sir,
I
Andrew.
want to ask you a question. I'm only asking this because I want to make sure it went through. But I sent you a cash
Sweet.
app about a half hour ago, and I don't know if it got
Okay,
through
hold
or
on.
not. If it didn't,
Sometimes, man, I'm driving, and I'm sorry about that. And I don't be seeing
I don't
stuff when
think
it
it
come
went
I
up
just
through,
want
here.
to make
Andrew.
sure you got it. That's all.
Nah, I think it's $TUANDON37.
Yeah, yeah. I got it, Andrew. I got
I
it,
think you
Andrew.
sent it to the wrong.
I appreciate
That's
it,
a good
Andrew.
try, Twan. That's a good try.
Hey,
Try
I
again.
appreciate it, Andrew.
Well, so
Oh,
it went. It came through then.
yes, sir.
You
I
can
appreciate it.
you can
Like I
also
say,
hit
man,
the
Oh,
other
okay.
black
I be
cat.
Look at
listen,
You can
Pop.
also hit that. You can
I be
also hit the other
driving,
black cat
and
Panther
I don't
member.
see things.
Dollar
Pop said,
sign
Motherfucker,
popping dang.
motherfucker speaking up now. Speaking up now.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm one of the
Pop said, wait a
members of the
minute, I'm in
most.
this motherfucker too.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, I'm part of Black Guy.
And I appreciate that.
But Twan, I agree with that and what we was just saying about Andy Reid. It goes to show. But I don't. So let Papa said something earlier, and let's look at it from this perspective too. Now, if a team is that bad, right? This is one of the things I do love about the NFL over other sports. If a team is that bad and they're picking number one, right? So they got the number one pick in the first round, the number one pick. I mean, when teams end up with the same record, yeah, it rotates. Like if you get two teams that finish the season 2-15, one is going to be number one. Then the next round, one is going to be number one. They're going to rotate. But if you just had the worst record by far, you're going to be picking number one overall. You're going to be picking number 33. You're going to be picking number 65, and then so on. So, you get conceivably the chance to get the best player coming out in each round. You should be able to
Yeah,
get better if you got good coaching and good management. If you should be able to get
Hey,
better
Swarm,
in a
see,
couple of years.
You're proving my point exactly. So, listen, I can't remember the article. It was an article breaking down why the first round in the NFL draft is some potential bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Where most of the picks come between between the second and the fucking and the sixth pick. You know what I'm saying? So my
yeah.
thing is, listen, for a quarterback, yeah, you get your money, but you're going to a team where you getting injured is higher. You having bad players is higher. You having a shitty coach is higher. So how's that helping you get to the next level?
Damn, Twan, you trying to fuck
But
me up now, man. So,
but
uh,
Twan, it's the NFL draft. Now, what you talking about, Twan? Like I said, you opening up a Pandora's box when
yeah,
you
yeah,
telling these kids to go. It just like some people said, paying them in college was getting ready to start some shit. The transfer
yep,
portal was going to start some shit,
and it
and in a way
has.
it has. It
Yep.
has.
That's my
So
point.
you got to be careful with this thing now, cause
See
Yeah.
what I'm
like
saying?
I keep telling y'all, these
Go
kids
coming
is different.
around now,
So,
though. You coming around,
but what
go.
I'm saying, but I understand what you're saying. But if you when you start having them calling the shots like that, the
Uh-huh.
number, especially from 1 through 10, saying I don't want to go here, I don't want to go there, and this and that, this and that. So why even have the draft? Why even have the? Won't you just
See,
Yeah.
have motherfuckers go out
no,
there and call
And,
people
and
up
reach an
and,
agreement with
and
whatever team he
yeah,
want to go to.
recruit,
I got you.
yeah,
But this
And
is
you
recruit
will
what
like
have the
college,
Yankees.
recruit
You
like
will have the
there you
Yankees.
go,
You will have the
yeah.
Yankees dominating the baseball again. That's what
Yeah,
you
no,
will
yeah.
have.
And
it
the
ain't like
same
that.
motherfucker get ready to win every year.
Yep.
Okay. So my point is this. So I think you and Swarm seeing where I'm going with this. So check this out. If you're in college with the NIL, Swarm, you ain't gotta be hard pressed if you already getting it like that to go high in the draft. Now, with the money you already received, if you getting paid like that in college, you like this. I don't want to go to no fucked up team, bro. I'll wait because I'm not hard up for money.
But that one day you gonna be a senior. You gonna time out. One
No,
you
I'm talking
can't
about
keep
I'll
waiting.
wait
You
in the
gonna time
draft.
out.
No, not wait in college.
You
Meaning I'm
can't
willing
keep.
to
You
wait
can't
later
do
to go
that.
later in the draft.
But they can't do that, Twan.
That thing you can't do
But
that.
you
That's
can't
calling
pick
your
up.
shot.
But you gonna be dumb to go get Swarm, and Swarm don't want to play for you.
But Twan, the only option players have when they get drafted is to sit out a year if they don't want to play for that team.
Exactly.
That's the only option
And
they
you know what?
have.
And
They
you
can
know what
sit
I
out
do?
and
Listen,
re-enter. They can
I'm gonna
sit
tell
out
you
and
what, man,
re-enter.
Swan.
I'm
You know
telling you,
what
it's
I
coming,
do?
bro.
You know what I
Yeah,
do? Dealing with these boys, just like Twan said, they got NIL, they got money. I sit your ass out 3 years. I tell you, you got to sit out 3 years.
yeah.
That's gonna make you. The draft is there for a reason. If not, it's gonna be it'll be some fucked up
NIL,
shit when these
NIL
motherfuckers
changed a
start
lot of
calling their
shit, bro.
shot.
Yeah, but
There you
Twan,
go.
this is the
That's why I
thing.
give them
This is the
3 years.
thing about the NIL. Like Goat said, you don't have so many years of NCAA eligibility, and you know this,
That's it.
Twan, from having
Yes.
played. So when you time out at the NCAA, that you might make, just say a player is really good and makes $12 million during his collegiate career in the NIL. And see, people need to look at what the average player is making on that NIL. It ain't that I'm giving you a number out there that's a major number. It ain't gonna be many motherfuckers that make $12 million over 4 years
Oh,
on
Yeah.
NIL.
I'm only talking to the guys that do make that money. I
I
know
see what you're
everybody
saying.
ain't getting
So
that
so
money.
so my point is this, Twan. Say in those 4 years, 5 years, if he stretch it out of his eligibility, say he makes $20 million. Well, damn, Bryce just signed a 36 guaranteed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. And then if you finish that rookie year, y'all talking about motherfuckers out there. Look at Brian Burns. You talking about making 30 million a year for
Yeah,
5 years. That's 150
he put
million.
another 18 on
Bruh.
top of that. 18 on top of that, and then whatever you sign for if
And
you go
this is
ahead and
my
do it.
biggest argument, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna hush. This is my biggest argument, I'm gonna hush. You and y'all play football. You know how violent the sport is. You fuck around and extend your collegiate career and come up like
There you
Willis
go.
McGahee if you want to.
There you go. There you
Well,
go.
football always gonna be a gamble.
So what I'm saying,
Always gonna be a
Twan, most players still gonna wanna do their 2 years if they that good and get the fuck out of there and go to the league. I don't care
Well,
what you
okay.
say.
Let me
gamble.
switch the question. I asked Andrew. Andrew just told y'all he a football junkie. He's the senior man on here right now, the oldest guy on here right now. Andrew, the college football, what do you think about the portal and the NIL?
Mm, mm.
I don't like it.
I
I
love it.
never liked it.
I love
Yeah,
it.
Uh,
I love it.
I think I don't see what. Why would you change something that's not broken?
That's what I say, Andrew. You got a
Yeah,
perfect product.
yeah. It's just it puts the athlete in a whole different perspective in his game.
And no, you got to let me come back after Andrew done, though.
Okay.
You
Well,
got to let him
go
in
do
his
ahead,
that.
game.
Twan. We're talking about it. Now,
No,
Yeah,
I
like I
that's
want
said,
Andrew
this
fine.
is
to finish. I want Andrew to finish.
everybody's decision. This is
Yeah, I want
everybody's
Andrew to finish.
decision. Go
I
ahead,
want
go
Andrew to
ahead,
finish.
Andrew.
I want to hear Andrew first. Yeah, go
I
ahead.
mean, well, before the NIL, you got to the NFL on your merits. Now these guys are getting paid millions of dollars. They may not even make it to the NFL. They may not even play in the NFL.
Right.
So I don't hate it. I just would prefer it the other way around. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead, Twan.
My rebuttal is this. Kendall knows me. You know where I'm going to come from with this. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these kids that they wind up in these D1 schools, they don't come from the greatest of circumstances. I mean, we know the percentages of African American players in college. Hey, ain't no way in hell I'm gonna continue or root for these coaches to be able to continue to get these incredible fucking contracts off these kids' backs. And they don't get no money, they get no share in that. Y'all selling merch off my name. And I'm kind of speaking as a player now. You selling merch off my name, you selling tickets off my name. You're gonna tell me I get this little bill, this baby ass $2,000 stipend each year or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And then they don't like the transfer portal either, but a head coach can leave whenever the fuck he want to leave and go wherever the fuck he want to go. Ain't no way in hell you gonna sell these kids short than me, man. Let them earn their fucking money too. Because guess what?
Twan,
You're right. You
I
may not
agree
make
with
it
they're
in
that.
on
the
a
NFL.
listen, Twan. You know what a full
Well,
ride
half of them ain't
scholarship.
going to class
You know what
anyway.
a full
There
ride
you go,
scholarship
Andrew.
to Michigan
There you go,
costs.
Andrew. There you go, Andrew.
You know what a full ride scholarship to Michigan costs? They're getting a first rate education paid for by the college.
They don't go to
And
class,
then
Andrew. Most of them dudes
That's
don't go
on
to
them.
class.
That's on
that's
them.
on them, Twan.
That's on them.
That's
Let me
on
tell
them.
you, I'm gonna give you 3 words, Twan. Welcome to America. Welcome to America. When you talking
No,
about
man.
somebody making money off
I ain't
your
with it,
back,
Kendall.
welcome
I
to
ain't with it,
America.
Kendall. Kendall,
Welcome to America.
y'all
You're
wrong with
right,
It's
that one.
done
Kendall.
every
You're
day
Y'all
in
right,
wrong with
every
Goat.
that one.
job,
You're right,
every way,
Goat.
everything. Welcome to fucking America.
You're right, Goat. I think too many motherfuckers, and I ain't no Leo, I ain't going down that road, y'all. But I'm gonna tell you where I stand, and maybe I've gotten older and more conservative in my mind. But my experience in life has shown me that you go out if you want something, you take your ass out and you earn it, man. A
There you go.
motherfucker
There
cannot
you go.
stop you from earning what you want in America.
They
Yeah,
are earning
there
it,
are
Smoke.
obstacles. There are
Come
obstacles.
on,
There
bro.
are
They
there
are
are
earning it.
obstacles. Huh?
They are earning it. Coaches don't just coach; they do commercials and all that other shit too. Did they earn to be on a commercial? They're getting everything they're getting off these kids' backs, and y'all don't
Now,
want to pay
now
these
selling their
kids.
image, and that number, I agree with you. They should have definitely been getting a
Well,
greater share. It
and
needed to be
that's why I said
adjusted.
if we're gonna do it that way, if we're gonna keep it college, if we're gonna keep it fucking college, if we're gonna keep it college, then let all the African American kids go get their education at a HBCU. If we keep it at college and not
Twan,
financial, y'all know damn well
They
these
ain't gonna
kids
do
don't
that.
go to
They ain't
class,
gonna do
bro.
that. They ain't gonna do that.
you just
Not
went to race.
capitalism. Capitalism ain't gonna have that
All
shit
right,
happen.
then. So let them
Just
get
took
their
it
money
away.
too.
So what you saying? Every black kid go to a HBCU. Every white kid go to a PIL, predominantly white school.
Ain't
No,
nobody.
it
I
don't
bet you
work
won't
like
nobody go to
that,
the
man.
PWI. I bet you won't nobody go to
You
the
just,
PWI
you
games.
just, but
Ain't
see, you
nobody
just
going
made
to
it
that
about
shit.
race. You just made it about race. You just made it about race.
Because it is. You just said that's America. America is about race.
But goddamn, America the melting pot. You talking about Indians. You talking about
I
Mexican
agree
kids.
with
Control
You
that.
the
talking about this kid. You
conversation
talking about
though.
all that. You just
I'm
made it
not trying
about
to make it
race,
about
man.
race. I'm just trying to tell you
But hold on,
that
before we talk
I want
about
my money
hold on,
too.
before we say it's race, 70% of the NFL players are black. Did you guys know that?
Of course.
Yep.
70%. So you can't talk about it being racial. You can't.
Yeah, because
I'm
there's another
saying
side to it. I get what
I
you're saying,
want.
Andrew. You
Man,
could
Okay.
get
y'all
other
done
races
pissed
of
off that
people who
damn
argue
dog.
and say, don't draft them. You got to draft a higher percentage of white kids. You got to draft a higher percentage of other nationalities.
But that's not how I look at it. My view is I don't care what color they are. Draft the best player. That's the way I
Andrew,
look
let me.
at it.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah,
Andrew.
yeah.
Exactly.
No,
Let me ask
Andrew,
you a
I
And
wasn't
question.
saying
they're
you. I
black.
wasn't
They're
saying
black.
you, but
I
I'm
got no
saying that
problem with
there
that.
others could argue that. Yeah.
No, Andrew making a good point, but Andrew, you ready for this? Do you know where all the good players came from before PWIs convinced them to come to their schools? The NFL went and got all those guys from HBCUs, bro.
Okay,
Before
then, Twan.
before
What,
PWIs
Twan?
convinced them kids to come to their schools. And now in 2024, all the shit that come on, Swarm, all the shit that our ancestors and our people marched for, and then you telling me to take money out of these kids' pockets and let these coaches do whatever they want to do? Fuck that. As an athlete, I'm saying, hell no, I need to get me too.
I don't know if I really
bullshit.
said that they shouldn't get their money. That's not what I said. Let me be clear about it. What I said was it's another option that's in play now. Things have changed, so the players have to work and determine what is the best route for them. What I'm saying is, so he goes out there and he earns $20 million in 4 years, but that's it. He can't get it no more because he can't play no more college ball.
All I'm trying to tell Andrew is
At Texas One,
successful, they go to college.
He's sick. He's sick, Texas One. He'll be here tomorrow. He's sick. He's sick.
Donald
He
Obama.
He under the weather. Yeah. Every day, Twan, you come up preaching about an HBCU and a help and a march. If you want to march, man, go march.
I wouldn't be mad if we could get the best of both worlds with Donald and Obama for American shit. I wouldn't be mad with that.
But Red Swarm, listen, that statistic does not bother me. 70% African American does not bother me because I know that's 70% of the best football players in the world.
There you go, Andrew. There you go. Yeah,
that's what you want to see. Okay.
Yep. It's entertainment. I agree with you.
So check this out.
I'm paying the money I'm paying for a ticket. I want to see the best talent out there. That's all.
Me too, Andrew. Me too.
Exactly, Andrew. I don't give a damn where they come from. They can be a walk-on.
Swan. So you remember you going down the history of the HBCUs, right? Mm-hmm. And that's where they went and found their best players. Now, my fight with you is if you see a guy go to a lower school of talent, but he's shining, why wouldn't you consider him to be a good player on your team? Because you just said, well, they were pulling the black people from the HBCUs, and yeah, they may not have been in Georgia, or they may not have been in Florida State.
FSU.
But if he's balling, and he's shining like a star, well, what's wrong with him being on your team? Because that's what I was trying to get my point across to you the other day.
I didn't say there was nothing wrong with him being on your team.
But we had a little discussion. I was just like, well, hold on.
I want them to utilize HBCU more than they do.
I get it, but you just knocked it the other day though. Like you was like, bro, he didn't go against no big school. I'm like, that it don't matter. Look what he doing.
Hey, case in point. Poppin', case in point. Bill Belichick drafted Cole Strange. Does anybody know who Cole Strange is? Yeah. Anybody know what school he went to?
I can't think of it right now.
My son played with him at University of Tennessee, Chattanooga. My son played defensive end, Kyon Edwards, on that same team. Yeah. So what I'm saying is,
he was on my board last year.
My point is, what Poppin is saying, if the talent is there, who gives a fuck if a team has scoured and got great scouts, and they say, you know what, this kid belongs. He's a first round pick. The rest of the world will say, Belichick, man, he always taking a reach on somebody.
Y'all getting away from my point. And I know what Poppin is talking about, and Pop's absolutely correct. Because Pop was telling me, like with this kid, this running back he was trying to sell me on, and the dude, the school that he went to or whatever, I was looking at him, and the dude was a beast running back. But I was looking at the motherfuckers he was playing against out there. Everybody looked little to me, and I'm just like this. I'm like, is that going to help him at the next level? But I wasn't trying to get into that discussion. My discussion was simply about college players getting their money.
I get you.
And then Drew, and I'm not saying Drew wrong for saying that, but then Andrew was like, I like the old way. Well, if we like the old way, then we'll still be in the fucking 50s and the 60s still doing shit the way they did it then. I mean, time. Look,
Well, I'm not that
time is
old.
proving. Time is proving things will change, bro.
Yeah.
Well, it has
Yeah,
changed. They started
These
paying them.
motherfuckers.
but
They can
The
jump in.
very
They can
I
jump in
just
the
But
They can
the
jump in
point
the
is,
Swarm,
transfer portal.
Swarm.
I mean,
Yeah.
but
Make
what you
America
saying?
great? What does Make America Great Again stand for? They want shit the way it used to be.
Well, yeah, I don't fuck with
Come
that
on,
slogan.
Twan.
I don't fuck with that slogan now. I don't just,
but
I don't know how we got on that
here,
topic,
here's
but I
what
don't
here's
fuck with
what
that slogan.
here's
Twan
what
grew
y'all
up
aren't
in the
thinking.
street.
What you guys aren't thinking about is that when you sit there and say, well, look how much these coaches are making. When you're the CEO of a company, you're going to
That's
make
right.
more money than a supervisor or a
That's
manager.
right. That's right.
You see what I'm saying?
An outlandish amount,
That's the way
Andrew.
that's the way the free market works. So
Yep.
what you're
Thank
doing
you.
now, you're saying, okay, we're going to pay these kids to play in college
I'll
football.
be right back.
Yep.
Me,
All right, Pop.
that's crazy. They're on a full ride scholarship that's probably worth in a 4-year good school like Michigan or let's say Ohio State. You're talking about
$78,000,
over
$73,000.
$300,000.
Andrew,
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
100,000 easy.
Andrew.
yeah.
Look. So I'm not trying to make this shit no racial shit. Most of these
Well, I know you're
kids,
not.
most
I
of
didn't
these
say you were.
kids, look, most of these black and brown kids don't give a fuck about that scholarship. Because if they didn't have to go to college at all and go right to the damn NFL, which you can't,
But look,
then
Twan,
they would do it.
listen what
They
I'm
don't
saying, Twan.
care. Listen,
You get
look, I went to
okay,
school, kid.
okay.
No, these motherfuckers don't go to
Take it. Oh,
class.
take it. I did too. You take it from there. Just like Andrew said, you can apply it to every form of business out here in the world today. Same thing. You have people that had the opportunity that the government pays for programs for them to go in, apprenticeship programs, all types of whatever. You know what I'm saying? People don't take the opportunity to do that as well. The same opportunity you have to go to class as a student athlete, you don't take that because you say, okay, as long as I can skate by to get enough tape to get to the NFL.
Yeah.
That's what they have been doing. So they said, just like you said, Antoine, fuck it. Let's start paying them and become a semi-pro, and then we won't have to worry about class. That's one reason why they did it, so they can
Because
stay
there's too much
eligible
money
the whole
exchanging
year or
hands.
two. Exactly.
So,
But
so
Man,
hey,
listen.
Andrew raised an interesting point. I'm just looking at this. So most of these kids that go and say just using the university and go, I hate that to interrupt your
yeah,
train of thought,
go
but
ahead, go
this
ahead.
is this is crazy.
Go ahead.
Most of
Yeah,
those
go ahead.
kids who are coming from the University of Michigan are out of state when they recruit them. Annual out of state tuition at the University of Michigan is $51,900. That's $200,000 for 4 years, man.
Man, I know,
Exactly.
but look, Swarm, I can run off the top 10 schools in this country in terms of tuition. What I'm telling you, listen, when I was at Florida State, man, listen, do you know what's motherfuckers volunteering? Like, why are you taking these classes, Twan? Like, why aren't you taking like fucking art class and blah blah blah? They like, why are you taking business courses and shit like that or whatever? You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. I'm saying because this is school. Like my mom sent me here also for my fucking education, not just to be here with a sport or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Which is something I wish they pushed off on kids more. But nowadays, man, when they run this shit in a capitalistic way, then these kids gonna want to get their money too, bro.
Yeah, but no,
Imagine motherfuckers saying, running Black Cat Panther podcast is right now on a bigger show and running their clips, and they decide we don't want to pay Black Cat Panther podcast because them motherfuckers like they got to go through the ranks that we went through. Bullshit. I need my money. You playing my shit. You earning money off of me.
Yeah, but see that's what's going to ruin it. That's what's going to ruin college sports and the NFL. Let me give you an example. If you're Michigan State, hold on. If you're the University of Michigan, hold on.
Go ahead,
If you're the
Andrew.
University of Michigan and you got a top athlete and you're paying him, let's say, $10 million for NIL, right? And then you got another student who's the number one student in nuclear science. What's that nuclear scientist going to make when he gets out of college?
Shit, if he get in a good
$100,000
project,
a year. We're talking
yeah.
$37 million for Bryce Young. What are we talking about here?
Exactly.
Listen,
let's
Just
put things
long.
in perspective,
I'm
okay?
putting it in. Look, I'm telling you what I
Yeah, it's not
fucking
even
know.
close,
I'm
okay?
telling you what I know. Justin Long, you don't know what the fuck you talking about. You should probably stop typing shit. Talking about schools don't pay these kids. I've seen professors write niggas on my team's checks.
All right, I'm back, fellas.
I seen them write them checks, Swarm.
Oh,
When you're winning
We
and when you're in
have
these
we
big
have all.
programs, anybody will write that money for you, bro. It
Yeah,
ain't just
oh,
you got
just
you. Well, we know that you
McDonald's and
got
shit like
boosters.
that. The school
You
do
got
be hitting
boosters
these
with
niggas
car.
up.
You got boosters with car out that donate
And old
a couple
alumnus and all
Yeah.
that shit.
cars and
See,
stuff like that
uh,
and write them off.
oh
but
I mean,
wow.
they've been doing that
Kendall,
forever.
Kendall,
Yeah,
Twan's making the argument that these kids haven't received anything from the college already. That's what he's doing. He's saying they're going to
no,
get theirs in the NIL because they ain't getting shit. My argument is they're getting plenty. They're getting a full ride scholarship for
That
4
they don't
years to a
want.
major
That a lot of
university.
them
What the
don't
fuck does
want,
that
Andrew.
mean?
I wanted it.
3 and a full ride scholarship.
Hey, Andrew, just so you know, Andrew, I wanted it.
Oh,
I wanted the education. I wanted it. A lot of players want it. A lot of players come out with 4.0 averages, but most of those kids don't go to class, man. They just think that for the ones that are really, really, really good, they don't go to class. They don't take tests. They just string them along until they can get into that damn league.
they get
That's what
enough
I
so they can get
know. That's
enough
not
paid to
what
get
I'm
on to it.
pretending to know,
And
bro.
we know. But then you say, okay, these Power Five schools athletics they build campuses. The money that comes from football, basketball, build campuses. You go
Not
look at that campus, and then they get into the
you
right
see where I'm coming from now.
the right conference. They
Right.
build campuses behind
Yep.
that money. Okay, now they started playing the play.
Basketball and football
I,
builds
I,
everything.
I lean toward Andrew. Well, okay, I know they get the stipend. We used to get the
That's
stipend
your
money.
right. That's
The
your right, dude.
stipend money won't shit.
Yeah.
The stipend money won't shit. You know what I'm saying? Know this. Okay, now you start getting the NIL money, which is way got them more than that stipend money. Okay,
Yeah.
now these kids today though, you talking about a different kid today, Twan. You talking about a different kid today now. Don't get that. Don't forget that. You talking about a totally different kid today than that hungry kid that you talking about that come from that neighborhood. Because a
Yeah.
lot of these kids today is different. It ain't the same kid now.
Well, and
You
another
57
thing,
years old. I'm 47. It ain't the same kid.
Kendall, another thing to think about: if you got a kid making $10 million in the NIL, he's going to come up with the same attitude that Brian Burns said. Why should I go out there and put myself at risk when
Thank you.
I'm going to get
Thank you.
20, 30 million if I make it to the next league? How long do you think that college football can sustain that kind of
Hey, look,
attitude?
man.
It's a
Listen.
business.
It
It's a
can't.
Look.
business now. It's a business now. You ain't got that.
Look, if
You
y'all
ain't
want to agree,
hungry, Twan.
if y'all agree, if y'all look, it's your right if you want to agree with Andrew, and it's Andrew's right to believe what he wants to believe. But I ain't talking about on what I fucking know. I was there. I'm talking about what I know. I'm sorry to tell you this, Andrew, but most of them kids don't give a fuck about college.
Well,
We
They just
know
have
that
to
as
go
well,
through college to get to
okay.
the next
Okay.
level.
First of
It's all
all,
about booty,
The only
Twan.
that
motherfuckers
may
that
be
don't
It's
care
all
true,
about
about
college
booty,
is
Juan.
damn it.
baseball players
Juan,
that go right
that
into their leagues.
Juan, that may be true. That may be true. I played on a scholarship in baseball when I went to college. That was back in the 70s, and it was completely different then. But what I'm saying to you is, if that's the attitude they're going to have, then it's not going to. It's not. How long do you think that's going to carry before it blows up?
It ain't
yeah.
because
Okay.
money
Why
rules.
you think? Why you think? Yeah, that's why they fought it for so long. That's why they fought it for so long.
We such a capitalistic country, and it's not gonna blow up, bro. It's not. See, my thing is
Okay.
this: to make it fair and to agree with Andrew halfway on what he's saying. If I would have did the shit, I'll say, yeah, y'all can earn all this NIL money, but you gotta go to class. And you get caught cheating or whatever, then that's gonna cut some of your money out or some shit like that or whatever. The part of that NIL deal would be you gotta go to class. You gotta do your own homework, and you got to maintain at least whatever grade you need. A lot of those dudes get to the point where they know they're getting ready to fail classes, but that's when they get ready to leave school anyway. It's not
Yeah,
going
they
to
gonna
Yeah,
leave
hurt
school
them.
anyway. They don't even go after the football season. When they know they
but
getting
you know
ready to
what,
leave, they don't
Twan?
even go after the
You know
football
what,
season.
What's up, Andrew?
Twan? That's been happening before. That was all happening before the NIL. It was all
Hell
happening
yeah.
before the NIL. It was the same back then. They were getting these kids through school, even though they didn't deserve it because of their grades. They were making sure they got through school because it helped the team. So now
That's
what
right.
you're saying is we
It was
want
helping the
to
university
reward you
make
for your
money.
bad. We're going to reward you for that bad behavior. That's what they're saying.
But guess what, Andrew? Guess who
But
was getting rewarded on the back end? Those colleges. They're getting all that money from these kids. These kids are building some of these colleges, bro. You take black people out of these PWIs, man, a lot of these motherfuckers will go bankrupt. Basketball and football pays for everything at PWIs.
I'm not going to deny that. The point I was trying to make was I really, as much as an argument I put up, it doesn't bother me that they're getting the NIL money. I'm just saying it's not sustainable. I don't think it's going to last very long. I really believe within 10 years there won't be any NIL.
Well, then
because
then
the colleges,
okay,
listen, the colleges are they're not going to be able you know, I just don't think it's going to work out over the next 10 years. I may be wrong, but
Andrew, that's what somebody gonna do is they're gonna try to pull some McMahon shit like the G League or the developmental league in basketball, and then they're gonna have a way for these kids to go into some league after high school because you don't gotta go to college, you know what I'm saying, to play pro ball, bro. You can go to like a lot of these dudes now in the NBA. Them top 10 dudes, at least 5 of them coming out of the G League.
But what it boils down to, Twan, let me ask you this. Let's say you have a can't miss athlete like a Caleb Williams or something like that. He comes into the USC and they tell him, well, you know what? You're going to get all that NIL money probably coming up, so we're not going to give you a fucking scholarship. You walk in here, you pay your own way. How does that benefit him? Because that's where it's heading. That's where it's heading. Why would the college put out? Why would the college give out $800,000 of their scholarship money?
Yeah, he's paying for the
But
next
Andrew,
level. Yeah.
Why would they give out $800,000 of their scholarship money to a kid that's going to make $10 million?
Got you. But Andrew, listen, nobody says shit about kids coming right out of high school to go play professional baseball because most of them are what? I'll let you fill in the blank. Nobody says shit about these kids playing golf. They go right into professional golf because they're what? I'll let you fill in the blank.
Why? But that ain't.
But African American kids got to go through college
God,
and all these fucking hurdles.
damn it! You
before
always
we can
making
play
it
pro
black,
ball.
white, this and that, man.
Hey,
No, football. You played football because they said you wasn't developed
You
enough
out
at
of touch, bro.
17.
You out of touch, bro. You out of
At
touch.
17, at 17 and 18,
You out of
you
touch.
know you wasn't developed enough to go play NFL. You had to go to college. Their bodies wasn't developed enough. So you can't come with that shit there,
But
Twan.
it's
You can't
developed
do that.
enough to go play
That
MLB.
black white shit. You
These
can't
big
do that.
motherfuckers playing in the damn
You
in
can go
professional
play
baseball.
baseball. Baseball is not as
Get
physical as
the fuck
fucking
out of here with
football,
that
bro.
shit, man. These motherfuckers
And
come right out of high school to
they've
go right
always
into the
had the
NBA,
minor
bro.
league in football. I
Get
mean
the fuck out of
baseball.
here.
They've
I'm trying
always
to
had
you put
triple
a
A
Jets
ball.
fan on us.
Come on, man. Stop making
y'all
all
just,
that black white shit.
It's talking
Stop
something.
that, man.
hey,
He's
y'all
talking about
Stop
just
that.
made
we
my point.
underdeveloped. Like
Y'all
motherfuckers won't go
you
into
just
the
made
NBA right out of high
Oh
school.
my God. Bro, come
yeah, but
on,
y'all,
bro. So
hey,
okay,
you
so
just
who
made
going
the
straight
point
out of
though.
high school? Who that? Kev, who is that?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, Kev. Go ahead, Kev. Go ahead.
Well, you just made a good point though. Like you said, the bodies aren't developed. 17,
That's what I
18.
tell this dude here, man.
But look,
But it's always
look.
black, white. You always go watch,
Yeah.
Twan. You want to go
I ain't
watch
worried
on
about
Washington, man. Go fucking watch.
I mean, forget the race and all that, but you think about it, that college is big business. That's the thing. It ain't about NFL want these guys to go to college to play. They don't care about
Oh,
them going
Kendall
to
ain't gonna like
class.
this because it ain't gonna go his way, bro. It ain't.
Yeah,
He ain't
yeah,
gonna
I
like
get it,
this.
but I mean, they're going to college for 2 years of player development, not school and testing, and they don't care about all that.
That ain't shit.
I
That's
understand,
where
and
the
I know
That's
NIL
that,
middle
come in.
class, bro.
and I know
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, to say
But
that the NIL is going to ruin things, we don't know. I
It
mean,
ain't gonna ruin
I
shit.
think, yeah, what's his name? Andrew, you were saying that it's not sustainable. Well, the old system wasn't sustainable. That's why it changed. Like, so I mean, where do we go from here? 10 years from now, they might make it where they're going straight out of high school. They might skip college,
yeah,
skip
but see
NIL.
No,
that's the thing. Don't get
the
you couldn't
reason
go
they
straight out of
changed
college.
the reason they
Yeah,
changed it was because it was been going on all along under the table, and
exactly.
they couldn't afford to replace every coach in college football because they knew this shit was
Exactly.
going on.
They couldn't
That's what
sustain
changed.
it doing it under the table, so now it had to change. So it's probably this might not be sustainable. It's gonna change again. But college is big business. Them players are there making them colleges money, and they're
Thank you.
there as a breeding factory or breeding ground for the NFL. They ain't there to go to class,
They don't recruit you because you're gonna
No,
be an A student in class.
right?
They
And
recruiting you
half,
for what the fuck you can do for them.
before the
yeah,
NIL and all that, Twan, you know that nobody went to class
Kendall, we
anyway.
not gonna see eye to eye
You
on that
know
shit, so I
that.
ain't arguing on that no more. I'm too
and,
You
black.
and
know
hey,
that.
Hey,
and
I'm too
are
black,
all them
man.
kids
I'm too black.
are all them kids getting scholarships and full rides?
No,
No,
That's what I
no.
figured. Cause some of them, yeah, some of them on the team, but I
Some
mean, they
of them
still got to
walk
buy the
on.
books.
So
Yeah.
yeah, some of them walk on. Some people on partial.
So give them
No,
the NIL. Hell, they ain't getting no free education. They're just there to play. May as well get paid. You ain't getting no free
a
education.
lot of those walk on dudes, you know why they walked on? Because they was there for their education first.
Yep.
It depends on what you're going to that school for. And most of these kids, these high ranked kids that get recruited highly, they not there for college, bro. It's
Nope.
big business.
I
Yeah,
mean,
college big
we
business.
know that.
Ain't no way how I'm gonna
We know
watch
that.
my coach make all this money in my damn face, and I'm out here killing my damn self, and he can leave this school anytime he want to, but they mad when I do it. So man, fuck Nick Saban that he quit or whatever. You know what I'm saying? He done earned all that money off them kids back, and he don't want them transferring.
At the
Well,
end
he
of
I
can
at the
quit
end of the day,
Alabama anytime he want.
at the
I
end of
got
the day,
what
that might be a badass wide receiver or quarterback come out of high school, go to college, get all this NIL money, and then we don't get to see him come to the NFL. I mean, it is what it is. It might happen. It might start
I,
happening. But I mean, that's
now
just what's going. You know.
I'm getting ready to segue back to one of the talking points. Now this is coming off the Bears wire that Mike Tomlin himself has made it known that he likes Justin Fields. So that Justin Fields and the Bears having our pick, the Carolina Panthers pick now, and this Justin Fields deal.
It's they pick, 'cause I'm through with that.
How do y'all feel that Justin Fields himself is getting ready to have such an impact, his impact on this draft right here? Because like I said, just that alone with them moving up the board just like that is getting ready to push at least 5 players down the board. Just with the Justin Fields thing, not counting Russell Wilson and anybody else. Just the Justin Fields. Because like I said, that Steelers thing, that's the first one that I heard today. Then Atlanta Falcons. Then I heard about the Denver Broncos. But this Steelers is getting hot. The
Kendall, all
Steelers
I can
trade
say
is
is
getting
I'm
hot.
glad. All I'm saying is, all I'm gonna say is, I'm glad he's going to a better situation with a better coach, with some better talent, where his skills can be utilized better. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
he escaping. Look, good for him. He finally gets to escape Chicago. One of the biggest things I used to always tell people about Cam Newton, the worst career Cam Newton ever made, and he didn't really make that decision. But you got to look at the metaphor in it. Is playing for the Carolina fucking Panthers, bro. He would have had a way better career playing with somebody who actually gave a fuck. So I'm happy for Justin Fields. You know what I'm saying? Like he gets to escape Chicago.
Yeah.
He might actually turn out to be somebody.
Baker Mayfield
And then
got out of
this
Cleveland.
segues to us again. It says the Steelers are a smart team. The
They
Steelers
are.
are a smart team. knows how to move on before it becomes too late.
I don't know about that.
Pickett is not the guy. The
Nah, he ain't.
Steelers, now let me read this again. The Steelers are a smart team that knows how to move on before it gets too late. Pickett
I'm
is not the guy.
see. Look, I'm gonna tell
Does
y'all.
that sound like us?
Kendall
Does
gonna
that
come for
sound
me
like
later with
us?
that Pickens
It
shit.
don't
He gonna
sound
come
like
for me
us. I
later
hope
with
it
that
do
Pickens
next year
shit.
though. I hope it do
Kendall
after next
set me
season.
up to come after me with that Pickens shit later. Nah, he bringing us to
No,
the
no,
point.
no. Well, I ain't even
Yeah,
gonna say nothing
I'll
about
tell
that
you
part.
another thing,
I'm not even
Kendall.
saying about it.
Kendall,
What,
I'll tell you
uh,
another thing. If the Tampa does not re-sign Mike Evans, look for Baker Mayfield to go to New England.
ooh,
Mm.
ooh, Andrew. I ain't seen nothing about you. You seen something like that?
That would be
Yeah, I've seen
interesting, though.
something like that.
That would be
Yep.
interesting, though. That would be
Yeah,
interesting.
because he's made it plain that he's not gonna without saying so many and without really actually saying it, but he's made it clear that Tampa, for him to stay, Tampa needs to re-sign Mike
Mike,
Evans. Yeah,
okay, okay.
yeah. Hmm.
And to be 100% honest, I haven't seen anything. You know what I'm saying about that, but I hadn't really been looking about it. I've been looking at this Justin Fields thing because it's gonna affect the board like y'all don't know. It's gonna affect that draft,
Oh, big
and
time.
then
Because I think
uh
he ends up in Atlanta, Kendall. I think he ends up in
Andrew,
Atlanta.
Oh yeah.
Andrew, I
either
Yeah.
think Baker.
either, either way.
Yeah, I think Andrew might be. Look, I think Andrew might be onto something because Mike Evans ain't coming back to Tampa. There's so many teams ready to write him a big ass check.
Yeah, yeah.
That are further along in the playoffs or
Trust.
projected to be.
He trying
Yeah.
to win a title now at his age, bro.
Yeah, New England came off of Mac Jones.
Point,
They're
point.
looking for a quarterback, and they may
Yeah.
just say, "Hey, look, let's spend the money on Baker Mayfield, and if we sign a free agent, let's get Mike Evans, and let's go from there." And that may be a good move for him.
I think it
Well,
would be. Shit.
I will read the statement again. The Steelers are a smart team that knows when to move on before it is too late.
Yep.
Pickett is not the guy. So to be
Yeah,
a smart team, you got to know when to move on when you don't have the guy.
fact.
I knew they were
Yep.
smart when they didn't let motherfucking David Tepper make no decisions over there. I knew they were smart.
Well, well, that was true.
They were
That's
smart
that.
as fuck.
Hey, that's
That was
yeah.
the smartest
What
move ever.
Yeah.
what they telling y'all? It don't matter if it's a number one pick, if it's a number one pick at 20 or whatever. If he ain't the guy, you need to move on from him. That's what it's saying. So y'all take it the way y'all want to, bright young guys or whoever. If
I'm
he's
taking it
not
as
the
is.
guy, move on.
It's clear as day.
Hey, go.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I'm sorry, y'all. I had a call that I had to take, man. So I
Ain't
dropped
got no
out.
Swarm and
Well,
Swarm, what up, Greek?
what's up? What's up, Greek?
Okay, Red Swarm,
G9.
Red
Yep.
Swarm, Red Swarm with Beyonce calling him all the time. We got to put a stop to that.
My kidney
Andrew,
king brother.
Andrew, if I had it like that, we would have had our own suite at the Super Bowl,
Hey,
homeboy.
Andrew. Hey, Andrew. Andrew.
Yes,
I want
sir.
I want to tell Andrew something, bro. I love your debating skills, bro.
Me
I love
too.
Oh,
Me
hey,
too. Me
Swan,
too.
I enjoy yours too
bro,
because
you made me earn my
I
money,
know.
bro.
Yeah, hey man, you're putting it out there and you stick to your guns, and that's all I can ask for. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like to debate people that stand up on what they believe in, and they stick to it. We have disagreements. That's fine. That's what makes the world go around, right?
Makes us better. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I like the fact that we 3 hours in still talking about football.
There
Yeah.
you go.
We ain't
There
ar-
you
Yeah.
go,
argue.
Pop.
If
Hey,
you
We
know,
yeah,
ain't
you
arguing
know.
about our personal lives.
If
Yeah.
you know, you know.
that, I
So,
mean, not going over there,
Hey,
but
Pop,
that
if
that's
you know,
that's
you
that's,
know.
that's what I want to. That's all I want to do here. I don't want to get it. You know what I'm saying? All over there. We can talk about all the teams, and it's going to segue toward the Carolina Panthers. Where I started it
Yep.
off about those 5 teams at the top. One,
Yeah.
they got our pick, and they're gonna be using our pick to make their team better. So they're gonna use our team to make their team better, and they're gonna come out of oh, I got some in the background.
Oh, my
Somebody
bad.
got something in the
I
background. They
got
need
you.
to
I
mute out.
got you right here. I got you.
Uh, uh,
Shit.
that's gonna segue until this board moving at the top and pushing it down. And that
Yep.
push it down, I'm telling y'all, Friday night, Friday morning, somebody is getting ready to call the Carolina Panthers Friday morning. Before they get to work,
1201.
before they get to work,
Damn
they gonna
sure
be
is.
calling.
I just
And
don't want
y'all,
them
we
to
can
get
make a
cute,
move
though.
at 33. We can make a move at 33 to help this team. I ain't saying this gonna help this team and we get ready to win games and this and that. But we
Oh
need
no.
picks, y'all. We
Hey,
need picks
Kendall.
like
All
we
right,
got.
here's a question, Kendall.
Yes, sir.
You keep talking about that 33rd pick. Kendall, you're picking that 33rd pick. Who do you pick?
Well, I'm trading it. I'm
Mm.
trading it, Andrew. That's why I'm politicking right
Yeah, he
now.
saying he
I'm
trading.
trading
He
it.
getting out of it.
I'm trading it. I'm getting out of it, Andrew. I
Who
got to
you
get out of it.
trading? Who you
I got to give me
trading?
some picks. That's what I'm saying. It don't matter. I'm trading it back. Whoever called
I
me,
just want to know how many
that's
spots you
gonna
willing to
give
go
me
back.
Yeah, how far
another.
are you willing to go back, go?
Yeah. What's your
I
37.
cutoff
can't go.
point?
Y'all, let me look at. Let me hold on. Let me look at something
Yeah,
right
you
quick.
gotta
Yeah.
you gotta
When I
give us your cutoff
let
point
me
now.
let me
Go.
And,
look at something right quick.
Andrew, from what you've seen,
Let me look at.
and some of the mocks that have been out there and how these
I'm
players are
saying 37.
projected, who do you think would be the best pick for y'all at 33?
Okay, at 33,
It
I'm probably
depends.
picking. I think he'll be there. I'm picking Lad McConkey, but I'm also trading Brian
Nope.
Burns, not because he's not a great player. I believe he is, but we're more than one player away, you guys. We've got to
Yeah, that's
start
what.
building this. We got to
We
start
got to
building
do
this
it.
roster up. Look at it this way: we've had Brian Burns all these years, and where have we got with him? So, what makes you think things are going to be different next year if we keep him? They're
And
not.
Andrew, it might be some bad blood there
Hey,
already with him too, man. You got to consider that too, man.
Well, yeah, I mean,
I
if he
want
wanted to be here, he would have signed because
but
Yeah.
I'm fairly confident.
so
I don't know the number, but I'm fairly confident he was offered about 23 million and turned it down. Okay, but
So let me ask you this, Andrew.
be that as it may, we're not going to improve this team until we get multiple draft picks, and we sold that down the tube last year
That's what
when we
Poppin
gave
So let
up
was
me ask
all
you
saying.
those
this.
picks for Bryce
Let
Young.
me ask you this, Andrew.
yeah, we gotta get
Because
multiple calls.
I noticed several people don't mind Brian Burns go, and I said earlier I want to keep our three staples here: Louvu, Brown, and Burns. Everybody else can go. But my way of thinking is you don't need a fast. You don't have to hurry up and fix the team. If you do it the right way,
Right.
build through the draft for the next 3 years, you can be competitive. And see what I don't believe in, because even history have showed you, every time they've traded away players, you ain't got shit back. So you can really believe what you got on your team, because they've
right, Pop.
Facts,
actually
bud.
they've hold
Yeah,
Facts,
on, let me
bud.
finish.
that's a good
So
point, Bob.
hold on. Yeah, and so think about it. You get rid of Brian Burns. That's 8 sacks gone.
Mm-hmm.
You then have to replace him. It's just like I said on C3. I have a woman, you have a woman, right? Our women are two different women, but I'm never gonna say, "Hey, bro, I want your woman too," because I got my woman.
Mm-hmm.
Bryce, Burns is our champion. He may not be the best champion like everybody else champion. He may not be this person over there, but guess what? He's ours. So
Yeah.
I don't need to get rid of him. I don't need to keep
No, you don't
comparing him
need
to
to. But
somebody
see,
else.
you're
But the
100% correct. But
so
I'm looking
my
at it.
last point,
I'm
Andrew.
looking,
My last
Pop.
point, Andrew.
Yeah, go ahead.
And I'm making it real quick. And then this is another thing that's messed up. You are now, like I told somebody, if I tie your leg up and I say, "Hey, let's have an ass kicking contest," who you think gonna win, me or you? I'm gonna win, because what you're doing to Evero, you're handicapping him. You're
Yep.
saying, "Hey, you're such a good coach that I'm gonna take away your star
Oh,
player, and let's see what you can do with that."
Oh, yeah.
And when you're cooking, you need all your ingredients. Now
Good,
he is gonna take a fall because you're gonna have to take everything you got to try to help this little midget. So
Yeah.
on that note, y'all
Yeah.
want Brian Burns to be gone? Go ahead, but I don't want to hear
Yep, go
shit
right
about
I
ahead.
nobody
hear you.
else talking
Hey, now,
about
now, now,
defense.
I agree with you 100%. But yeah, hey, you touched on a subject that I've got to mention. You guys, let's lighten it up a little bit here. I'm going to tell you a story. I, I
Go
was
ahead, Andrew. Got you.
I was a manager. I was a manager for a mountain spring water company for many years, and one of the spring owners, I never met him, and he called me one day, and he said, "How's it going?" I said, "Oh, I'm busier than a one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest." Okay. Well, about 2 months later, I had to go negotiate a contract with him for a spring that he owned. And when I showed up, I seen a guy standing in the lobby with one leg.
Oh my
Ah!
God.
No,
Real shit?
Andrew.
For real, Andrew?
I swear to
Don't
God.
tell me that was him.
And I looked at my boss and I said, "Tell me that's not Dale." And he goes, "That's Dale."
Oh, I hope he poured
I'm
a drink on
guessing
you.
y'all didn't get that contract.
Get
Oh,
it? Poured a drink on
I
you.
went and apologized to him, and he just laughed. He lost his leg in Vietnam, and
Oh, okay.
I went and told him, "God, Dale, I'm so sorry." And he laughed. He thought it was funny, but that's off the subject. But back to the subject, I'm agreeing with everything Pop said, but here's where I differ.
Mhm.
If you're gonna rebuild this team, which we're talking about, you got to get as much bang for your buck as you can.
There you
And
go.
there's 3 players on this
Yeah,
team
facts.
that are gonna yield you that. One is
Yep.
Brian Burns.
Yep.
The other one is Frankie Louvu, and the
Yep.
other one is
Derek Brown.
the defensive lineman Derek Brown,
Yeah.
and maybe J.C. Horn. But the point I'm trying to make is J.C. Horn showed up when he came and played. He was one of the best lockdown corners in the league. Okay,
Mhm.
and Derek Brown, we all know what he did, and we all know what Frankie Louvu did. So that leaves Brian Burns. So what do you get? Maybe a second and a third and maybe a fifth. That you got to be crazy to pass that up. You're rebuilding this team.
Yeah,
If we
because you
keep
can't
Brian
keep them
Burns for the
all.
next 5 years, what it's going to do for our team?
So all right, let me rebuttal that. I agree that we should hit a rebound, a rebuild, a retool, whatever anybody a rebuild. I believe we do need to do that. The problem is that how are you going to market to the team? Because like I told go earlier, when they preview the game, they say, okay, you got Aaron Rodgers playing against Russell Wilson, Jerry Judy, and whoever on each side. They're gonna show you Bryce Young and who? From a
Poppin',
marketing
I want to
standpoint,
tell
you
you
have
this as
nothing
an
to go off of.
outsider. I'm gonna tell you this as an outsider. Derek Brown has reached that next level, man. Motherfuckers around the NFL fans may not realize it yet because they kind of look at it as,
Oh no,
the
he's there,
Carolina
bro.
Panthers. But players around the league recognize him for. Listen, if I don't know if y'all saw this or not, probably didn't because y'all wouldn't have been looking for him. But I will tell y'all to Google Bijan Robinson talking to CBS Sports about Derek Brown at the Super Bowl. He did so for whatever reason, I guess because he was in the Rookie of the Year conversation. But Bijan also is kind of like, I was surprised, a little media darling. They had him doing interviews everywhere. But CBS, the guy asked him who was the toughest defender that he faced since he's come to the NFL. The guy was a Texas fan, so he followed Bijan at Texas. And he said, "Oh, that's easy, man." He said, "Derek Brown." He said, "Man," he said, "that guy caught me and he slipped the block and he hit me." He said, "Man," he said, "I'm gonna tell you something." He said, "High school, college, NFL, I hadn't been hit like that." He said, but he said it wasn't just when he hit me. He said it was one or two plays that, I got past the line of scrimmage and, I went to make a move on the defensive back when we were playing Carolina. and this dude was right on my tail about to tackle me from behind. He said, and I'm
He
telling you,
caught him
I
on
was
field.
surprised. He said, I was surprised because I never thought a lineman would run me down like that, man. He said, but he doesn't quit on plays. He said, and he just went on, he gushed, man. He was like, that's the toughest defender that I played in this year, man.
I want to say something
Yeah,
about what Pop and Andrew was saying, though. I
yeah,
think, I love what Pop is saying because I'm on the side with it. And what Andrew was saying as well in terms of the burn situation. So, like, I'm presenting something that's in the middle, man. I love what Pop's saying. I want to keep Brian Burns. He's my favorite player on the team, man. People can wonder why they want to wonder. But, you know what I'm saying? With Andrew saying we can get things for him, I agree with that, too. The thing with Brian Burns is this, man, for the same reasons that I'm saying with Mike Evans down there with Tampa Bay, man. Let Brian Burns go somewhere else and be great, man. You know what I'm saying? While we rebuilding or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Because if we ain't gonna do right by this man, then let him go be great somewhere else.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
but
We already fumbled the bag when we
if you
already fumbled
already
the
saying
bag with
that,
the Rams.
But you got to
Yeah,
get
if
something
you
for him,
already
though.
saying
yeah,
that, you got to get something for him. That's all he's
yeah.
saying. You got to get
Yeah.
something for him.
Because like
You
I
gonna
think
let him go ahead
Twan.
and get on? You got
I
to
think
get something
after
for him.
we
Hey,
mistreated
Twan.
him, he's over Carolina, bro. He don't want to be here no damn more.
Listen, but then again, listen, Twan. It's Cleveland Browns let Jadeveon Clowney walk away. He went out and got 9 sacks with Baltimore.
Yep, balled out.
What happened? The Cleveland
It's
Browns
like
finished with a
92,
number 1 or
man.
2 defense
Numbers
in the
like
league
the
without him.
Niners.
Yeah.
Just
It usually
because you have a
fits
good
everybody
defensive
right
player
there.
does
Because
not
it
mean
brings you to
that
the
you
back.
can't show
So
up with the right
it's
draft picks and have a good defense. So you don't
I,
want
I
to
got a
hang on to a guy unless he's a Patrick
so
Mahomes
I
who's
got a
untradeable. You know what I'm saying?
I got a question though. How
yeah, so you kind of have to
how
go.
many?
I think if you're on Sunny Street, you got to
you
go
gotta
make
mute your
a right
mic, Twan.
and pull
Twan.
We
back
hear
the
you.
parking lot,
Hey,
and the
how
number is huge on the building. It's 9210.
This
Go
guy
ahead.
right here is tripping.
Yeah.
This dude tripping.
Go ahead.
Andrew, I get what
Yeah,
you're
don't talk
saying about the rebuilding. My problem is, and it should be everybody's problem. When have you ever seen them do it though? When?
Well, it ain't my
When have you
problem.
seen them trade away players and came back with more picks and
Los
actually
Angeles
got
Rams.
value?
Los
No, no, no.
Angeles
I'm talking about
Rams.
no. I'm talking about the Carolina Panthers. So you can say all these other good organizations. I'm talking about the Carolina Panthers. Every time I've seen them do it for the last 20 something years, when they given up great players to get picks, they never get any value
You're
back.
right.
So
You're
So
right.
I
you're
don't
saying they
believe.
don't hit
I
on
don't.
the
Listen,
picks, not
They
that.
don't hit. So I don't
I'll
have
give
faith in them.
listen, I'm a
I'd
fairly
rather
new
keep what I got.
Panthers fan. I haven't been a Panthers fan as long as you guys have been, but I can honestly tell you that sometimes you just have to restart. You have to just say this: what we're doing isn't working.
Yeah.
It's time to make a change and put your trust in the people
Yes,
that you
sir.
hire. And all I'm saying is this team is not going to implode if they get rid of Brian Burns. How can you implode any worse than 2 wins?
Facts.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
can't.
yeah, 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 Andrew. Yeah. You can't. But look, Andrew, I don't have faith. I'm with all of that, what you're saying, but I don't have faith in the people that's in there. That's
Yeah,
my thing
and
right now. I don't have
yeah.
faith in the
They
people.
uh,
got to put
I'm
up or
with
shut
the
up. I
rebuild.
get it. I get
Yeah,
it, Kendall.
yeah.
and
I'm with the
but with
rebuild, but I just don't have faith in the people that we got that's leading the charge of the rebuild.
here's my thing with Burns. Our defense. We can say they're good, but then when you break the numbers down and you look at our offense, and then you look at the way other offenses played us, and it's like, okay, now what? Because Burns is on the outside. Our defense got killed up the middle.
Do you guys realize how much the Detroit Lions, the fan base, kicked and screamed when they traded Matthew Stafford? Do you realize
Oh
how
yeah,
much they kicked and screamed about that trade? And how'd that
oh
work
yeah.
out for them? Okay,
It
they
just
won.
wasn't working with him in Detroit.
And
No, it
that's the
They
wasn't
they
quarterback.
they
working.
both needed a change. He needed a
Yeah,
change, and they needed a change.
Exactly.
right.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying Brian Burns is going to make us better, But what I'm saying is where we sit right now on that draft board, we've got to make some improvements. We've got to get some quality
So
players in
But
here.
okay, all
Andrew,
right, Andrew, hold on.
what
I got
Poppin
you.
is
I got
saying,
you.
is
What,
okay.
what you
If
gonna
you
get for
make
him?
that, yeah. What Poppin is saying, Detroit traded and golf wasn't no bum. What they traded for? What
He's
we
a
said,
franchise
what
quarterback.
Poppin saying, they'll go trade for a bum. They'll trade
All
their
day
franchise,
long.
their asset for a liability.
Yep.
I got you. This. Watch this, Andrew. So check it. You trade Brian Burns, right? You get a second, a third this year, and a second next year. Because I don't think they're gonna give you a first round pick.
Right.
You then are three and 14 next year. You have to go in the draft. You got a
Again.
number one pass rusher, and you got a franchise quarterback sitting there. You are now back in the same situation because
I
you need
think
a
y'all would be
quarterback.
foolish to take
And you,
anything less than 2 seconds for Brian
I,
Burns. Y'all get that
listen.
easily.
Listen,
Listen,
you
listen.
guys,
You're
but let
back
me
in the
ask you,
same
Poppin,
situation because you have to
Poppin,
fill that void.
are you telling me now I want you to think long and hard about this. Are you telling me
Hmm
all this conversation we're having that we're going through is worth
hmm
someone who had 8 sacks? Is that what you're
Again,
saying?
we got killed up the middle. Teams ain't passed on us. They
He
ran
had
the
8
ball.
sacks. Now listen, this is the year that Brian Burns had to show up because
Where
he's
is
playing for a
where is
contract.
Detroit picking at this year, y'all?
I got you.
Brian Burns had
So,
every reason this year to put up record numbers to he could ride his contract if he
right,
did, and he laid an egg. So what I'm
got you.
saying is he the player we thought he was? That's what I'm saying.
Well,
29,
I think.
Ray. 29.
Okay, so go. This is what I was about to say. Pop and listen to me. This is what I was about to say. I would not be surprised if a team like Detroit, right, who is going to go defensive side of their ball, I wouldn't be surprised if by the time they get on the clock at 29, that they say none of the defensive ends that are left are as good as Brian Burns. We'll work a deal with the Panthers for Brian Burns. Some people would say 29 is close enough to a second round, late in the first round, but it's still a first round pick. And coupled with y'all picking at 33, that'll be a hell of a position to be in. So with what Andrew is saying, I get the argument that y'all are making that you haven't trusted what the GMs have done in the past, but I think that's sort of unfair to Dan Morgan, man. Because this
well,
is his show now. It's his show now.
I,
So
I
you
I can
got to
only
see
go
what
off
he
of what
does.
history has showed me, and for me to put in blind trust, just because Dan Morgan is there now in the seat, doesn't really help me. Um,
But Papa, you got
especially
to
with,
get a man a chance to see
but
though.
even that though, I don't want the 29th pick for at least in the top 15 because this is another thing. Okay, if you my number one salesman, right? You sell my cars, and then I trade you to get a couple more cars in. Now, I done lost the person who sells the inventory, but just to get a couple more fancy cars in here that ain't nobody seen. We're going electric, so we got to go get some electric cars. But we've been selling all these muscle cars. You've been selling all these muscle cars. I got to come and find another salesman who knows how to sell these electric cars because even though it was 8 sacks, I know it was 8 sacks. I don't have anybody on my team that gets me eight
Out,
sacks.
outside linebacker, 8 sacks. That's the thing. He got 3 jobs, not one.
Exactly.
And we
He's
don't
ran
have the middle line.
how many
Exactly.
defenses have we played? 3-3-5, 4-3, now 3-4. Now he's dropping in coverage. Like the man
Yep.
he gave you everything. What else do you want this man to do?
Well,
Like
first of
I think
all,
Goat
Brian
said
Burns,
earlier, we need
Brian Burns,
somebody
yeah.
beside Derek Brown. We instead of
If
focusing
you,
on Burns.
here's the bottom line: if you give up, let's say, a second, a third, and maybe a fifth, let's say, for someone like a Brian Burns, and you go back at the end of the year and you look where he finished this year, he wasn't even in the top 100 as
So
far
how
as
y'all think we're gonna get some good draft picks
So,
for him
so are
if
you?
he plays
How
so
can you
bad?
justify giving up those
A top
those kind of draft
15. Yeah, they're not going to do that. I
based
don't see
upon
a
what you
team in the
think?
top 15.
Yeah,
I,
what you're talking about? You're saying I'm not going to give up these draft picks because I want to go by what I think he can be rather than what he has been.
Yeah, that's how any player has got paid is what they've done in the past and what they think they're projected to go.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm
You
just
know,
saying, yeah, I see what you're saying. If you want to rebuild a team, you need the picks. I feel like
that's all I'm
that.
saying.
Be
I'm not
be
putting any
patient.
trash. I'm not throwing any
Yeah,
shade at Brian Burns because wherever he
yeah.
goes, he's probably going to be pretty good. He's probably going to be pretty good. But it's not going to. If we kept him, we stand to benefit more if we get multiple draft picks for him. That's all I'm saying.
I feel you.
because he's still top 5 on the free agent list. He's still top 5 on the free agent list.
Oh, of course, yeah, he is.
Yeah.
I'm
So
telling y'all, man. Y'all go get that boy from
Yeah, he's in
Colorado
high
so
State.
demand.
he's worth something. He's worth
He's in
something.
high demand.
But if
That's
but
what,
if
and
I think
that's why,
you're gonna let him
Kendall.
go.
I'm not doing any deal just to get rid of him. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
What I'm
I
saying
got you.
is,
I got
yeah, if we get a good offer for him with multiple picks, I think we'd be crazy not to get it because we got too many holes to fill.
I got. I mean,
I'm 100% with you,
Andrew.
Andrew. And I say
In order for me to take that deal,
commit,
I need a first
commit
round pick,
to the
and
rebuild. Commit to the rebuild.
I need a player. I need a
Yeah,
first round pick, and I need a player for Brian Burns.
and believe me, there
You're
are
not getting the
teams
first
out
round.
there. There are teams out there right now that will give up a first round pick for Brian Burns.
I
I
need a
don't think you're
next
gonna
year
get a
first
first
round.
round.
I need a next year first round
I
and a
don't think
player.
you're gonna get all that. I don't think you're gonna
Yeah,
get all
you're
that.
gonna be keeping. You're gonna be keeping and popping.
There you go.
What?
Yeah, probably gonna be keeping. Yeah.
But
You ain't gonna
hey,
get all that haul that
give
pop.
me next year first. Give me next year first, and this year's give me another third. I'm cool.
I don't think you're gonna get all
But
that there, brother.
a third this year, and a one next year.
I think you more apt to get the second this year and a second next year and maybe a
That's why I
third or
said
something
two
like that.
seconds is good.
Yeah.
2 seconds and
I
yeah.
I, 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 I don't think you're gonna get the first round that they may be looking for. Because you
See,
gotta
it's
think
hard.
this. Okay, Swarm.
Yeah.
Okay,
Go ahead. Go.
they had a different plan when everybody keeps bringing up the two first rounders that the Rams was gonna get. That was a different day and time. That was a different day and time at that
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah,
deal ain't come back.
Kendall,
Then you think,
Kendall,
yes, sir.
there are general managers out there thinking the only thing holding Brian Burns back is the team he played for. Okay,
That's true. That's true.
there are plenty of general managers thinking you give this guy some people to play beside, he might get 15 or 16
If I
sacks.
could just get him in here.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
true.
I
You
wish we thought the same
but
way. I wish
but
we
I
but
thought the
swear.
same
now
way.
timing is everything. Would y'all agree that timing is
Yeah.
everything?
Yes. Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
why didn't that happen at the trade deadline then? Why didn't why wasn't the deal cut at the trade deadline?
Fitterer wouldn't go for it. That's why the offers were out there, but Fitterer didn't. He wanted too much. He wanted those 2 number ones again, Kendall. That's what he wanted.
And
He was never going to get that.
And he didn't get them, right?
Yeah,
He didn't get them.
that's
Okay.
right.
That's all I'm saying right there.
So I'm gonna tell you what I
Proof is
would
in the
do.
pudding.
I would say, okay, I want the 70th pick in this draft, and I want a number 2 for next year, and that'll fill in the void of my second being gone, give it to Chicago, that we did with the Christian McCaffrey trade.
Yeah, I'm not saying give him away. I'm just saying if you get an offer that looks damn good, you need to take it because the team's got too many holes.
That's
I
why I
think
want
it'll
to play.
be some. It'll be some good offers for Brian Burns. Say it. And
You know, it's the old saying, no trade is better
it's
than
just
a
like what Andrew said. A lot of teams look at him, and that's why he's in demand. They say it's not a player, it's where he's playing at. That's what they're saying. Matthew Stafford. That was a great analysis.
Carolina's a bad team, bro. This is where players come to they watch their dreams fade out.
Damn, Twan.
I mean,
It's
it's
the
the
truth.
truth. Yeah. We're talking about rebuilding, and then we turn around and say keep Brown and Lulu and get rid of Burns. Like
Yeah,
I told you, I keep praying.
Brown got way more value. So why
Get back
wouldn't
to
we trade
glory
him
days.
then?
Y'all have had glory days. I want to get back to glory days too, man. Fuck.
Me too. Me too. Storm.
Hey, when you're 2-15, you guys, nobody's safe. Derek Brown,
There you go.
There we
Luvu,
go. That's
nobody's
been my whole
safe.
point right there. If we're trading people and we're looking for value and capital, then Brown got the more value. If we rebuild him, we know we ain't gonna win for the next 2-3 years. So what we keeping him for?
exactly.
So Kenny
Yeah,
Ken, what I'm
go ahead
saying
and get
is,
rid of him.
if Derek Brown was playing for the Falcons, you piss off a lot of the fan base. So I think that's what you have to think about as a Panthers fan too.
We 2-15 with a first overall
Red
quarterback.
Swarm,
I hear you.
We can't get no more pissed off.
I guarantee you, Red Swarm, if they trade Derek Brown, he's going to the AFC. I promise you.
Oh
they
yeah.
Go on, get rid of him so you can get all these picks and help little Bryce and fix the little holes and still be trash this year and then go back into the draft next year.
I agree with you because
and
if I
fuck
were
that up
picking 33rd,
again.
if it were me, I would have come right off of Bryce Young and I'd draft a Bo Nix or JJ McCarthy. I wouldn't even fuck with this kid anymore. That's how I feel.
You do that, Andrew, and his ass is on the bench by week 4. You do.
I'm telling you, Andrew, this is going to be an all offensive draft in my prediction.
You do that, he's on the bench by week 4, man. That dude cannot handle that type of competition in there, man. In fact, because he might not come out of training camp to start him, man. Imagine that shit if you draft Bo Nix at 33. Right. I'm saying, Poppy, could you imagine that?
I would love it, but they ain't gonna do it.
That would sure wake him up in the morning, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would.
Hey, Kendall, you hear me?
Yeah, I'm trying. Somebody got some background noise. Man.
Let's
Stop,
bro.
It might be me too. I don't know. I'm a Kendall.
I was just trying to find who it was, but I can't find who it is.
I got the Bluetooth on. I'm good. Blue Parrot.
That's all it was. I was trying
see.
to find who it was. I knew it was some background, some back feedback or something. When somebody need to go out and come back in, but I can't find out who it is.
Is the link there? I'll go out and see if it's me, Kendall.
I don't think it's you, Red.
It stopped.
Yeah, it might have been me. I had the hockey game on.
Okay.
Who it was? It's Pop.
Okay,
Why you been the sticks, Twan?
No, it is you, Pop. It is you, Pop. It is you.
Oh, hey, we had that conversation the other day about if you get pulled over with weed in the car. That shit was so funny, man. I can't forget that.
But yeah, man, it's actually. I mean, good stuff, y'all, man. Good stuff today. I swear, good conversation. But it really, like I said, my really thing was to come on today. What had really got my antennas up and everything, man, was those hot rumors about Justin Fields. Just that Justin Fields talk is getting ready to make this boy go crazy at the top, and that's gonna make us a hot commodity for day 2. That's my biggest thing, you know what I'm saying, to talk about. That's gonna make us a hot commodity on day 2, bro.
Well, he probably coming to Atlanta too, though.
But I mean, if he does, it's still gonna make a move, though, man. It's still gonna make a move.
Yeah.
If he know what's best for him, he won't go to Atlanta.
You sound like
he probably
Greek, you sound like some of these motherfuckers here. We don't want that motherfucker, man.
You definitely don't want to come here.
Yeah.
Hey, Kendall. I got to step off, man. It's good talking to you guys.
Hey, Andrew, we appreciate. Give us a
Andrew.
last. Give us a last word, Andrew. Give us a last word before you leave.
My last word is not to give up hope. I think this new coaching staff, if Bryce has anything in him at all from what we saw in college, this is his only chance. If he can't succeed with this coach, he's not going to succeed. So at least we'll know after this year what direction we need to go for a quarterback. And if we have a shit year, we'll be drafting high in the draft next year. So I don't look at it as a complete wash. I mean, he's got to show out this year or he's gone. That's my last word.
Well, he's gone then because we about to have a shit year.
Yeah, because I tell you,
That schedule just got
that's
hard.
a juggernaut schedule. That's a juggernaut schedule, sir. Canales, hey, he better put his big boy drawers on because I'm trying to tell you, boy, this is going to be a challenge for him if he ain't never seen one. Going to be a
Yeah,
challenge.
and I think Kendall, I think that was the driving force behind Tepper hiring him because I think in his heart, Tepper knows he's not the guy, but he had to give him every chance he could to say, "Hey, I did everything I could for this kid," and he didn't show out. So I think that might have been the deciding factor when they went and got Canales.
So why you
Yeah.
give him so many years?
What's that?
So why did Shepard give him so many years?
Who
I think he
Canales?
gave.
Who started throwing Canales?
Well, let me answer that.
Yeah, Canales.
Let me answer that. I think he gave him that many years because let's don't forget he served under Pete Carroll for 13 years, and then he went to Tampa Bay and took a team that was picked for last in the division to the second round of the playoffs. I think that's why he gave him 6 years because he believed in him. And
Wow.
I think that the Bryce Young thing was almost like a bonus because he got a guy that's been known to turn quarterbacks around, and he's looking at it like, well, if he doesn't turn Bryce around, at least I know I got a reputable coach. He's been in the league and has a good had some pretty good mentors. You know, Todd Bowles. Whatever you say about Todd Bowles, I think he's a good coach. I like Todd
Well,
Bowles.
when you signed
And
Matt Rule to 6, when I would look, David Tepper, he's not
what's that?
learning from his, David Tepper's not learning from his past mistakes, man. Look, when you sign Matt Rule to that 6 year, I'm not signing nobody to 6 years until they show me something. And then I could go up on their years, but I'm not starting you off with 6.
Well, maybe he's saying,
I get
maybe
it.
he's also saying, Twan, that he's not sold on, like Andrew just said, sold on Bryce. So he says, hey, if Canales turns him around in year one, great. If he's not going to hold that first year against him, so I really don't start counting his years as my head coach until year 2.
Yeah, that's basically what I'm saying. He's looking at it. It's a twofer. You know, he's getting
Just a
2 for the
thought.
price of 1. He's getting a good quarterback coach, and he's getting a guy with came from a good coaching tree, and turned that Tampa Bay offense. Listen, when Tampa was 3-7 at one point, and they came back at crunch time in the drive for the playoffs and won 6 of the last 7 games, and then went in and beat the NFC champion in the playoffs. So that's got to mean something. It's got to mean something. And they did it with Baker Mayfield, who had the most touchdowns. He tied Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs for touchdowns and only played 2 games. So he's got a resume. So that's the thing that people don't look at. He's got a resume that puts him that you can justify making that hire. Now, was it the right hire? We don't know that. But you can say that he didn't fuck up in making this pick. At least that's my opinion.
I'm not giving him 6 years, no damn 6 years, bro. Not a guy, first time head coach. He just had this one great year with Tampa Bay. He's not fucking learning from his mistake. But it's his money. It don't count against the cap. It's his money. If he likes spending money, then keep doing that shit. It's his money.
Yeah. But Juan, let me ask you something. Do you really think that David Tepper thinks he got a 6-year contract based on this guy's record?
Then why sign him to 6 years?
I guarantee you, Canales is thinking I got 2 or 3 years to turn this team into a winner, and I'm gone.
Yeah.
The 6 years, it's just a number. It doesn't mean anything to Tepper. It just means I got to pay this guy for 6 years. I don't
My
have to keep him that long.
My best thing, like I always say, Andrew, with a head coach, when you don't come in and pick your quarterback, you committing suicide right there. And with Canales coming in, they had better have sat down. I hope his representation is smart enough to say, look here, we can pick our guy either the next draft or whatever if this don't work out. I hope he got something in his
that
contract
had to be a part of it,
that says
Kendall.
that. I hope so. I hope he's smart enough to say that right there because if I ever was a coach, I'll become a coach or whatever, and I can't pick my quarterback, I don't want the job because I'm not getting no reclamation project from nobody. It's been proven. Every one of these guys that come in, look at Frank Wright. That's what happened to him in Indy.
Yeah,
Never got the chance to
he was
pick the
given
quarterback.
4 years, and he was given 4 years, and he made 11 weeks. Kendall.
Yeah, it just it never happens. It don't end up good for that coach that comes in and says, "Oh well, he get handed a quarterback."
Frank
It
Wright
don't
shouldn't
work
have had that
out.
job to begin with, though. Should
Don't
have never
work
had
out,
that job to begin with.
and especially one that the owner picked overrode everybody. I mean, come on. I don't know, man.
See y'all in 6 years in the playoffs.
I don't know. Maybe 6. Give us them 6. Yeah, we probably rock and roll with it. But well, I tell you, it's gonna be rough, man.
It is.
It's gonna be a uphill sledding, if we can say that. Uphill.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, we going on. We appreciate it, man. We're going on 4 hours, and we're gonna get on out of here. So, Twan Don, give me a last word since I didn't get you last time.
First of all, get well, Q. I heard you say he was under the weather.
Yeah, he's
So,
sick.
hoping that man get well soon. And I'm just going like say what Pop say, man. Keep praying, bro. You know what I'm saying? I hate it. I hate it that I've lost my soul with this team, but I really have. So I'm not predicting. I'm not predicting anything, man. I'm just gonna wait and see. That's my new motto.
Okay, I'm on that too. I'm on that time too, Twan. I'm on that
I
time
think
too.
we all are.
Well, I'm kind of waiting and see. I'm on that time too, there, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen, let me get a last word there, buddy.
Well, my last word would be Dave Canales, get the praying. Because this job, bro, woo,
He about to
David
earn all
Tepper
his
is
money.
finna be
Yeah.
on your butt.
Yeah. He will get every
David
bit of that
Tepper,
contract.
David Tepper is gonna be on your butt, man. On it. So get ready.
When Jalen
Pop
said
it.
that shit, all I pictured was David Tepper throwing some hot ass coffee on Canals.
Yeah, he might. He might. They say they call it temper tantrums around there. Temper tantrums. So he might be some more temper tantrums there. Yo, poppin', give me something.
Keep trading and keep praying.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Keep trading.
Well, y'all, like I said, man, I'm gonna get that list together tonight. I'm gonna see how many we short on the lottery. It's coming up. We're gonna do that 32 team mock draft, 3 rounds. You're on the clock. You get to make your pick. And like I said, don't cry because you don't get the Panthers. If I get the Panthers, I'm throwing it back in. I don't want to do them out.
I don't want them motherfuckers.
I don't want the Panthers. I want another team, and I'm gonna show y'all my football soiree, zay. But I'm gonna have all that ready, and then the Panthers after dark, we get ready to roll that out. And other than that, man, y'all just see some good things coming out of Black Hat Panther podcast, if you will. But
Mm-hmm.
other than that, man, I'm gonna tell you, all we're gonna do, we're gonna keep praying, we're gonna keep rolling, and we're gonna try to get through this thing. Other than that, we out here, y'all.